Hey guys, welcome to our Tuesday streaming. This is the first night that we'll be using this campaign doing Princes of the Apocalypse. I'm Sean, your DM for tonight. I've got Andrew, Jeff, Steven, part of our usual crew.
You excited for a snowstorm?
I'm excited for a snowstorm.
We're all excited for a snowstorm.
Are you streaming?
Yes, we are.
Sorry.
So thank you guys for
Hi, Lydia.
for joining our channel. Anybody viewing, we're happy to have you guys here. We're happy to share. Let's start out.
Sorry, I just saw the update of that.
Give you guys a little bit of an introduction into the world we are now. We are in the Forgotten Realms on the Sword Coast. Our original campaign that we did, we went through Horde of the Dragon Queen and the Rise of Tiamat. So those events are now past. It's been a year. Thankfully, Tiamat was stopped by the heroes. But within a year, there was a giant war fought. The Sword Coast is pretty decimated. It's bankrupt. There's not enough armies to keep law and order. It's a good time for adventurers, but there are plenty of things that are now filling the power vacuum left in the wake of Tiamat. So for this, we have Princes of the Apocalypse. So far, our heroes have ended up in Red Larch, and they did a couple things around there. Had the constable help them dealing with some bandits. They dealt with a necromancer, and then they rooted out a strange temple underneath the town that had moving stones, and within it there was a priest who seemed to carry some trade bars from a missing delegation from Mirabar. Our heroes have set out to search for them from the town of Red Larch, which most people celebrate them now. They found some shallow graves that pointed them in the direction of Feathergale Spire, which is a retreat for rich Waterdavian nobles who ride giant vultures and hippogriffs.
As you do.
That's basically where we're at now, but I'm going to let these guys introduce their characters just so you guys know them, and then I'll give you an update of what happened last time so we can pick right up.
Cool. Thank you, Sean. I am playing Broderick Reinwald. He is a bard, valor bard, former soldier. He is nebulously old. I think I'm sort of unwilling to pin down exactly how old because he's not infirm. He's certainly, fit enough to be an adventurer, but he is essentially an old mercenary who retired, came back for the big, war against the cultists in Rise of Tiamat, fought at the Well of Dragons, distinguished himself there. In that time, the following months, since it's been about 13 months or something since then, his wife died of old age, or maybe not old age, but natural causes.
Yeah.
And so he, rather than sit around, his kids were grown up and successful. One's a blacksmith, one is works with the Merchants Guild. French fries, thank you!
A dry fry.
French fries, thank you. You want some?
No.
Oh, I better not eat while I'm talking.
I can hold them for you.
Yeah, you want to just sniff them? His children are adults now and successful, and he was just kind of like, I'm gonna sit around here and just die of old age. So instead, he signed up with the Adventurers Guild out of Golden Leaf, which was established by the witch Nithbis, who, if anyone watched our weekend extreme stream, you would have yeah. I was trying to think of another word for it, but no, it's good.
Stream.
Yep. So that's Broderick. He's a lot of fun to play. He's got a sweet old man voice, and I think I play him lawful good. I think he means nothing but to do well, and secretly hopes he dies while adventuring, and has made peace with that. Like I said, he's been successful. Kids are successful. He's ready to go at the end of a blade.
Dope. And he probably will.
Tonight.
Sean,
Stay tuned.
Sean doesn't know how to challenge us.
Or level us.
Make a note here real fast.
Now do we need the levels?
I am playing Naas Blackhand, a human rogue assassin. We just hit 3rd last week, so very happy. Thank you. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. I'm going to put that under your
Thank you. Good.
I can be bought.
Good. Good.
Did you tell everyone about your DLC? Your microtransactions?
So he's pretty young. He's like 18, 19 right now. When he was very young, probably like 8 or 9, he witnessed his mother and father get assassinated. He actually came into the room right after the assassin had done the deed. Apparently his father was, unbeknownst to him and probably his mother, was a flesh trader of sorts. The assassin, instead of killing him, gave him a choice. If he would not make a sound, if he put Naas's hand into the fire, then he would let him live. So he put his hand in the fire. Naas did not make a noise, burned his hand, hence that's where he got his name. Naas Blackhand is obviously not his real name, his given name, I should say. And he gave him this small twisted dagger and said that if you want to be anything more than prey in this world, bring this dagger to this specific place, and I will train you to become a predator. And he didn't have much to lose at that point. Decided to do it, and basically trained under an assassin for a good 10 years, really. His name was Kaliar, and in his last assignment, in Naas's last assignment, he found out from the target that he was supposed to kill, who was actually a former member of the guild, that Kaliar, one of the things he does, he's kind of got, it was always reputed that he's got some kind of like infernal blood in him, but no one really knew what it was, and he's lived for a very long time. Apparently, what he's done to stay alive so long is he finds individuals like my character and trains them up, and once they get to a certain point, he then ritually sacrifices them to get their youth and their power. He found that out from the target, the mark that he was going after, let the mark go, and basically planned his, not really even vengeance, but planned to kill Kaliar. He had this special poison that he'd found years ago and never used, and decided he was going to do that to kill Kaliar. So he kind of set Kaliar up to meet him as their drop-off, and long and short of it, he shot Kaliar with a crossbow, didn't kill him, and then just took off. Kaliar realized that what he hit him with was a poison that had no antidote, and that he was going to die. So he left assuming that Kaliar had died. We don't know if that's the case. A kind and benevolent DM would never throw an evil assassin at me.
No.
So
I'm also banking my family will never be used against.
yeah, of course. Yep.
That
We'll be
never
happy.
happens.
Yep, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. And so
Hope that works out for you.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. So he went to Golden Leaf also. His intent in going there was to join with some adventurers and hope that they could act as a shield against any assassins that are going to be thrown against him. A bit selfish. He's lawful neutral. He's not evil. He also has no intent of harming innocents. He kind of has a code against that.
Right.
He doesn't like what he does. He's just good at it. And he does it because he knows he can make him money.
Yeah.
Oh,
He joined the Ricks.
Oh, that's right, we are Team Rick.
Broderick and
Broderick!
Henrick and Henrick.
And he, surprising to him, he's actually come to like them, and he's found a, kind of a brotherhood among the two of them. It was a little strained at first, but it's kind of lighthearted now. The jabs back and forth, but it's fun. But he actually is there's part of him that kind of regrets joining with them because he maybe put them in danger. So if he sees stuff coming, he's going to go out of his way to protect them without ever telling them.
You've had a really good turn with Naas too, where at first he was kind of standoffish,
Yeah.
but now he clearly reluctantly appreciates and wants to protect the crew.
Yeah.
But was kind of a jerk.
And
at first.
it's something he's
It's
never
good.
had, which is kind of like
It's been a
a
good
brotherhood.
Yep.
Who he doesn't have to worry about stabbing him in the back.
And-
Who are really there to help him and has his back.
And he kind of had that typical 18, 19-year-old,
Oh, yeah.
full headstrong.
of piss and
and
vinegar.
everybody so far has dealt with him that's pretty cute.
Yeah. He's like, I'm kind of the best at stealthing and scouting. Okay, I'm like, no one better with a blade than I am. Yeah, that's nice,
I
but
mean, I wouldn't call myself a hero.
yeah.
But some might.
So that's kind of where he is now.
Yeah, dope. And Andrew.
Last and least.
Oh, Sean's going now?
Slam.
minus one level.
Yikes, guys.
What
What do you guys want to play after?
I'm playing Henrick Roughsworn. He's he's now a follower of Tempest. His journey getting there was unusual, I guess. So like any good character's mother, she was burned alive in her home.
Yeah.
With the doors barred. So
Uh-huh.
he grew to gain a hatred for, cowardly slayings and such. He was taken in by an unsavory sort who he, kind of against his will, stayed taken in. So he would pray every night over the sound of the music box his mother used to use. So that would like kind of drown it out. Pray to no one in particular because he didn't really know about any gods or anything. And to any god who would listen. And one day I'm trying to remember my own story, but he saw a vision of a flaming sword, I believe is what happened. Henrick remembers, I don't know. Which is the symbol of Tempest. And got his clerical powers.
Like untrained,
Right.
right?
He's
It's not like he grew up in a clergy.
Right.
He
He
was
just
just
go through the standard.
he's like a spontaneous.
Yes, Tempest, in the story that you told me, which is in
It's
my
fine.
head canon, that he appeared to you. Like his person in this vision was there. Like you saw his armor, you saw his sword, you inherently knew who it was.
Well, I didn't. I think I looked it up later when I saw the vision because I didn't know
Yeah,
the
that's
symbol or
right.
anything. But yeah,
And you're still kind of learning some of the ritual, I guess, around it.
He's,
Like
he's
some
a
of the
non-denominational Tempest follower.
yeah.
So yeah, that's how he got his power, and he. I'm pretty sure I challenged my captor because I didn't want to just slay him in his sleep, even though I could. I kicked him in the middle of the night, woke him up, threw a sword at him, and was like, "We're gonna fight, and I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna kill him like a coward. Because Tempest would be like, "Nah," and also I would be like, "Nah." And I think that like Naas,
Oh.
a coward.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much it. Lately, Tempest has been kind of drifting away, but I felt more powerful. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Whereas, especially for you, other devout followers, they don't necessarily have visions of Tempest, but it's just that overwhelming feeling of his presence, almost.
Well, he did have that vision of like a tidal wave
You did have a vision
of stone and water and
of essentially all the
the
elements
elements,
swallowing his stronghold and swallowing him, and he pushed his sword into your chest, and you woke up with the brand on
right. 'Cause
your.
he does have that still, right?
Yes, yep.
Like a flaming sword
Of
scar.
the sigil of Tempest, the flaming sword within the shield. I mean, it is burned into your chest. But yeah, you've been traveling with these dudes lately.
Cool.
Can we show the figures?
Sure. And I was going to actually take just a quick second to give a shout out. This is important for Sean. Sean, we got Adam Mashguy, if you remember the Viking man.
Uh-huh.
We got a Jay Mez up in here.
Oh,
And Joe Messerly watching. And Wiley Hobbit's out there, and so is Throck, Sean Moore. So thank you guys for chilling with us. Yeah, there are some better pictures of these figures that I posted up on CastleMac, dnd.com. Let me see if I can even... I'm not sure the camera will even focus on him accurately, but here's Henrick, one of the two Ricks. Let me see if it even
The
looks
better Rick.
halfway legible. Barely. You get some good shots over on CastleMacDND.com. If you click on minis, you'll see a little bit of a growing collection of pictures and miniatures. So.
it's worth checking out. They're incredibly painted and well sculpted miniatures. And hopefully you guys will get to use them for a long time to come.
Yeah.
With new characters.
I mean, so far the encounters you've played with us, they've been relatively easy.
Yeah, I mean, unless we switch DMs, we should be fine.
Yeah.
it's true. Yeah, so with that, a few things I didn't add. The original characters that we had, very high level, but they, are demigods at this point. The elf cleric runs the Church of Annalore. She's the high matron. Golden Leaf was set up by the tiefling druid Nithbis. That's kind of the biggest growing town and city and hub for adventurers.
Right.
That's where almost all quests are going through, and they've been sent out here. So that will be a location that's not in any of the lore in the books, but will be pretty central to this world. But so far, immediately, so they've investigated Feathergale Spire. Being that Broderick was a Waterdavian noble, is a Waterdavian noble,
Fit right in, kind of.
they seem to accept that. And having a priest of Tempest, they were definitely all about that. Didn't really care for Naas. They definitely sensed that he had absolutely no nobility to him. But they were invited by a Conrad Rickon, who definitely is a classist and young man who has very shining armor and almost none of the kinks of battle on it. But when they arrived, they were invited in by another knight. She was a young woman named Savra, who seemed to take to them pretty welcomingly. They came into the tower. They were invited for the feast. This was the 10th anniversary of the knights coming to this spot. That was a retreat. They basically all have winged mounts and they hunt. They feast, they drink. They met the leader of this is a man named Thurl Moroska, an older Waterdavian, and they found that Thurl is sincere and genuine in thinking that, especially after the War of the Dragons, that Waterdeep is unprepared for and it needs to be defended, that like-minded people need to be, frankly, Waterdavians need to be protecting Waterdeep.
Right. And we had been invited to dinner with them.
Yes,
And Broderick, on the sly, cast Detect Thoughts.
he did.
And kind of did some probing.
He did indeed, and he found that, and you kind of led questions, knowing that you had uncovered a bit of an earth cult at least. The Temple of the Moving Stones. There was a priest named Larak. You found a kind of rough map, and you'd seen a strange symbol.
Right.
You found armor made of almost grown stone that was like splinted armor that you have now. Which they reacted, some of the knights, the Feathergale knights, reacted a little strangely to. Like, they trusted you were a priest, but you could tell they were whispering about your armor. As you did Detect Thoughts, you kind of went through your adventures and with the Black Earth cult, and you sensed some anxiousness, partly at your knowledge, but you also got that you had seen almost like a clash between the Earth Cult and the Knights at some point.
Right. And when they found the
graves
from the Mirabar procession, there were mixed in Earth cultists and the Feathergale Knights.
Right. There was hooded robes that had feathers inlaid into the top that you found buried, and there are what seems to be the servants and attendants all wear those here. And most of the knights wear something.
They do not look like Earth cultists.
No, they do not. But
they're something else.
They are all definitely a very formal-looking robe with the hoods continually pulled up, but typically made of white, and it has a mix of like white, gray, and black feathers on the top.
Which is very similar to the armor that the knights wear. In terms that they have that feather.
They do. The knights almost have it as a cape, like on in between.
I kept thinking it was like a pauldron or something.
A little bit for the knights. Like some of them have a little bit more flair to it, but they seem to be all around attending. And Thurl also you also had a vision of a strange, like very beautiful, almost looked like an elf minstrel of some sort, and him talking to Thurl and essentially giving him directions, and them handing over a woman.
Yep. And while we were at dinner, Naas was sneaking a boot.
Yeah, so before we went in there, I made it look like he beat me up.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. That was so good.
So that they would kind of like see me as kind of like the the squire
Who had gotten out of line.
got out of line.
Yep.
Yeah, so they kind of, I figured that way they would just ignore me, which they did.
They did. They absolutely, most of them, including Conrad, most definitely.
Yeah.
Right. And we kind of played it up like we kind of treated him like garbage.
Yep.
Like I would never look at him in the eye, and
Right.
you know, it seemed to.
I'm getting used to it.
Yeah.
You do not get
Nice.
used to it. So yeah, I skulked off and got into Thurl.
Yep.
Thurl's
Thurl's.
chamber, and looked around, and I found this note.
I will read exactly what you found.
All right.
I'm gonna grab the dog bit.
So,
and read that. I got you,
Thurl's
Maisie.
last name is Moroska. So you found a note, and I mean, it is scrawled in just beautiful
Perfect.
handwriting.
Right.
Right there.
Moroska, we are pleased to hear about the outcome of your altercation with the Black Earth cult, and we praise you for the capture of one of their prisoners. This noblewoman from Waterdeep has an interesting tale to tell, and we shall enjoy interrogating her further. Keep a close watch on the Sacred Stone Monastery. I want to know what our enemy is planning next. Your beloved queen, Erisi Kalanoth.
So I copied down that note,
Yes.
but left it there.
Put it back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel fairly perfectly to where you found it.
Yeah. And then I stole his potion.
You did. You cleverly found that he had a large chest with a ton of gold.
Gold in it, yeah.
But he had a potion of heroism. You emptied out your water skin and poured the potion in there. Put it back because you are clever and trained, and you know.
That was good.
And then I guess we came back, and then the hunts.
Yes. So
Right.
you guys
But
have
we
not.
didn't have much time.
You guys
to
have- We haven't
really
sync-
talked
We
to
didn't
each other.
compare notes.
You have not. I think at this point you guys were going, and you had not. You were coming down. They were coming. So you guys are in eyesight of each other. You haven't said anything. But right before that, in the middle of dinner, as you were stopping your detect thoughts, and you couldn't really tell, as Thurl definitely seemed concerned that you knew things, didn't
He
know
was
how to treat you.
suspicious that we knew a lot. Didn't have murder on the brain.
No, he did not.
But was like, what? These
But
guys
was like,
know a bit too much.
yeah, this is a lot more than I expected. But as that happened, one of the hooded servants came in and yelled out, "Manticore, it's on the move!" And Thurl announced that they had been hunting it. He put a beautiful gold ring off his finger and said this would go to the victor that brought the Manticore head. And he invited you guys to partake in the hunt.
Yeah. I think we were still kind of deliberating on whether or not we were going to do that.
That's exactly where we're going to pick up. That you guys are in eyesight of each other. You're heading back into the room, and we're going to pick up right there. Other knights at this point, I mean, they're rallying. And they look.
Where is the launch pad? Because I remember didn't we see a little veranda where the vultures could land and take off? It's downstairs.
So
or
the
something?
bottom of this spire, which is on the end of a cliff,
Yep.
has a couple levels. The bottom houses
Like
vultures,
stables.
hippogriffs, almost a stable for.
Oh, there's hippogriffs there too.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
So
They had hippogriffs at the battle.
They're at the bottom.
Well with dragons.
And then there's the top that's the pinnacle where you can got a little bit of grass on the top too, but you can survey the entire Cyan Valley that it sits within. And there is just a haze that seems permanently over the valley, and winds kind of whip through the rocks here.
Gotcha. Before we get going, I want to give one more shout out to Wiley Hobbit. He's in here being awesome as usual, so thank you, sir. He was chatting it up a little bit. Wanted to give him a personal shout out.
Yes. Thank you, Wiley. We're stoked. We're
We
glad
are
that you're
excited. Okay.
here. At this point, though, you do see, because in this tower it's marble and it has large windows, like 10 feet up, that come out maybe 2 feet from the ground. You see that the mounts of vultures are being flown. You can hear them at the top of the pinnacle. So it's like they're being rallied at the top of the pinnacle as you're going.
And they're all on vultures, none of them are on hippogriffs.
None of them are on hippogriffs.
And they offered us a trained one that we could ride together.
They did.
Isn't that right?
They absolutely did. They said that they were trained mounts and that it shouldn't be a problem. So they're gathering though. There's going to be a few minutes, but you guys have now entered back into your room.
Just the
looking at-
three of us.
Just the three of you. Yeah. I mean, your dormitory was honestly right in the Great Hall room.
Yeah, it was right off
So,
the Great
and
Hall.
you were coming, you snuck perfectly back down the stairs into the hall, unseen. So you guys are all there now. That's where we're going to pick up.
Just kind of quietly close the door and turn to the group. What did you discover, Naas?
Well, they have some prisoner, some Waterhaven noblewoman that they're going to torture and interrogate and probably torture for some reason.
I believe I saw an exchange such as that. I probed the Lord Commander's mind.
Did he know you were doing it?
No, of course not. I'm too subtle for that. You know that.
Sure. What's going on? There seems to be...
Oh, yes, the Manticore. They're going on a hunt. They've invited the Stalwart and I. I was going to discuss with you whether you thought we should join them or not. Frankly, we need to develop a plan, and perhaps quickly.
I don't think it's a good idea to go with them. That might be, I mean, if...
Initially, I agreed, but I will say this. Based on my line of questioning, the Lord Commander was a tad suspicious. Just a tad.
Then why would you want to go? That could be a perfect time for them to eliminate you.
That it could be, but I suppose...
One turn of one of those monsters and you're going to fall to your death.
You have a point there.
If they wanted to kill us, they surely could have already. Or could have
Maybe.
attempted.
Perhaps we could
they seem to want-
re-ingratiate ourselves if we join them and revel in the hunt.
Well,
with
there's no way
them.
they'll let me on one.
You might be right.
I'm fine with that, but I do worry about the two of you going.
You are right to worry. I believe we are... Well, we are engaged in something quite suspicious here. I just can't uncover it. What else did you see? In my vision, I saw an elf, a man, a minstrel, who was parleying with the Lord Commander.
Here's the note. I copied it down.
I mean, that pretty much jives with everything they had, right?
It definitely does.
Yeah.
But to clarify, the note didn't imply they had a prisoner here. Someone else has a prisoner.
Yep. From the way that the note has read and what you saw in the vision, you clearly saw them being the woman being handed over
Right.
to.
The Feathergale Knights are handing her to someone else.
And I'll add, because I don't know if I made that clear, that with this minstrel handed over, they were handed over to another group of those robed figures that look just like the attendants.
Just like the attendants that are here.
That's correct.
Ew.
I mean, not necessarily the same face, but I mean dressed in the exact same garb that were standing behind the minstrel.
So sorry to do this. Can you read the note one more time?
Of course. Moroska, we are pleased to hear about the outcome of your altercation with the Black Earth cult, and we praise you for the capture of one of their prisoners. The noble woman from Waterdeep has an interesting tale to tell, and we shall enjoy interrogating her further. Keep a close watch on the Sacred Stone Monastery. I want to know what our enemy is planning next. Your beloved queen, Henrick Kalanoth.
Interesting, Naas, as I reread this note. She says keep a close eye on the monastery. Could be nothing, but if you recall, there was a spyglass affixed to the top of the spire. Seemed
Right.
quite... let's just say
I-
the person...
I did look at the position of that spyglass before they moved it.
Could be nothing, but this is an advantageous location. I can see much of the valley below.
Well, if you were dead set on going, I might be able to get there and look through the spyglass while you're gone.
At the very least, I think we should... Well, we were invited, and to turn down such an invitation would be seen as improper, I'm afraid.
You hear a knock at the door.
Yeah.
Right at that point.
Hello!
It opens and it's one of the robed, feathered attendants. I'm so sorry to disturb you, my lords and masters, but they have prepared 3 mounts if you plan to join the hunt. There is frankly a time-sensitive bit here to get going.
Of course.
2 mounts. Not much of a fight.
I just hang my head and don't look at his eyes.
He definitely doesn't seem to be looking at you either. He's just like, very well, I shall let them know. Kind of.
Thank you, yes. Any other special equipment we may need before heading out?
As far as I understand, they are mounted with saddles. They are well-trained beasts.
Very well. Shall we, Stalwart? After you.
Yes, we shall.
On my way out, I'm going to cast a message. Just be like, watch out for yourself.
All right. They leave you in the room. I assume, are waiting. You hear the hustle.
I'll even look out the window just to see if I can get a look. I'm also going to look up and see if there's anyone I can climb out the outside of the tower to get to the top.
So the room you're in, the dormitory, is completely closed. There's no windows in there, but
Some of the other rooms.
the great hall.
Oh, okay.
Some of the rooms you notice because you creeped through most. They have, small.
So only the great room would have a window.
The great room, and you did notice a large one in Thurl's had a large window for sure.
Probably not a great idea to be going to his room when he's staying here.
You don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Okay.
Because you didn't necessarily hear that he had put his ring on there.
Yeah, I would probably assume that he was going.
Okay.
You probably would. I mean,
in which case, I would not want to. I would still think of the great room might be the easiest place for me to be in without being suspicious, and then be able to potentially climb up if I needed to.
yeah.
The way I'll tell you before we cut. The way you've kind of already added up the windows. They do kind of narrow as they come in, and they narrow as they go out, almost like a diamond on the inside.
Right.
But you can most certainly slip your way out and go. Look up the spire. Like it would be.
Does it look like a tough climb?
It would be a very tough climb, and the winds here. You've noticed.
That's right.
You know enough to add up that without using like pythons, that it'd be a precarious climb to make up or down potentially.
All right. Well, then maybe I'll just make my way up the stairs.
Okay.
Eventually. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna
Gotcha.
give it a good 15 minutes.
Well, now that we've split the party, we should be fine.
Oh, we'll be perfectly fine. Yeah.
Oh, good boys. Good. You guys head up the stairs. Attendants are kind of getting out of your way as you go. It's a trained response. They see you coming and bow away. As you guys get to the top of the pinnacle, you see that there looks like there's about 2 groups spread out. There's 4 Feathergale Knights. They've got their vultures, and the vultures are still a little unsettling to you. It's you've definitely heard of them, but they're rare. They're kind of snapping at each other with their long necks and going. And the knights are like, "Oh yes, they're going to hold up, I'm sure," and kind of playfully ribbing each other. So it's a group of 4 there, and then there's 2 together, and of course it's Conrad and Savra, and they've got a mount each next to them. And actually, there's a 3rd that's being pulled away by another knight. Conrad's like, "Didn't want to bring your servant along, I see."
As we said, he had been acting out of line. Well, I know this is a place of redemption. Could be a little too quick for him.
According to Thurl, it is. But true, if he were to act out on one of these mounts, it would no doubt mean his death, and frankly, the loss of a significant investment. He kind of strokes the neck of his vulture. He's like, "They aren't easy to train and very hard to hatch right. We've bred them, you see." Looking at you conspiratorially, he's like, "It is a bit all in the breeding, isn't it?"
Yes, well, you saw the way he acted out back in the tavern, didn't you?
I certainly did. Savra seems to kind of move in front of Conrad. She's like, "Enough of that, Conrad." She's like, "We have a hunt to get to, do we not?" She kind of looks at you and winks. You get the idea. You have enough insight that she seems like she's saving you from Conrad. Like she knows what he is.
Well, yes, okay, then just like a horse, then.
Savra's like, "It is a bit like a horse. They are trained the same way. Squeeze with one leg when you want to go, pull on the reins, the other. Lean up when you want to go faster, pull back when you want to stop. It's about all there is to it. Your body will typically move in the direction you're going to go anyway, so if you dive, you're going to slide forward. They inherently know what you're trying to do."
All right, trust that. What do you think, Stalwart?
Let's go.
Alright, and she actually dismounts, and she helps each of you in. She starts with you, and she's like, all right here, master. So you put your foot up, and I mean, she goes through it and kind of takes you through the tutorial of it again. Like you hold
Does
the
the
ring
mount
here.
have a collar and bells on it?
on it.
That's it.
Stop
That's
shaking.
one of them is
Sorry.
scratching. And she comes and does the same for you. She's like, Stalwart? And she gives you a few other points. She's like, your armor is heavy. She's like, so you're going to want to make sure that your legs are secure on you. It doesn't quite work the same way.
Can you handle it?
I mean, it's like...
I believe that's a yes.
Alright, so she mounts. Conrad's like, should we begin it then, boys? The other set is like, aye! We'll blow the horn if we find it!
I'm gonna whisper to him.
We should stay close. Keep your wits about you.
So the first group sets out, and I mean, the vultures take a kind of running go, and just like drop and set out, take to flight. One goes, another one goes. Suddenly all four are heading out, about to the left of the valley.
I think Henrick would be terrified. I think he's comfortable on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Conrad is leading, and you two are in the middle, and Salver's right behind you. So,
I am actually proficient in animal handling. No, I'm not. Never mind. That's just Bardic. That's just the Bardic jack of all trades. So
Still.
never mind. Still helps, but
yeah.
he's
I have +2.
probably uncomfortable.
You should be
too,
fine.
especially with the wind shears and all that.
The wind shear is, I mean, as you got up here, and plus the sun is almost starting to go down now. It's sunset, so it kind of sets off that azure fog that's there, and you see a cold valley with howling winds. It is a little bit more unsettling. I mean, this tower is, including it, about 500 feet off the ground, so from up the valley.
Can we see the valley floor?
You can.
Can I look in the direction that the spyglass was pointed, knowing it's far?
It's the opposite side of the valley, you can tell. I mean, so within it, you see a lot of crags and rocks. There's almost some like little mini verdant fields. You see, it's still a large valley, so you can't make out too much detail, but there is what seems to come out of the ground, a river that cuts right in and then seems to go back underground. And that's about right through the center.
Got it.
So Conrad is like, he's like, well, I'll try to save the kill for one of you as our honored guest. And he takes off, and again, it's next up is you.
Alright. We'll take a quick last minute swig of wine. Alright, he would try to spur them out.
You spur, you pull the reins up as you know you've done on a horse before, and it does. It takes off. It is a little stranger than riding a horse. It's not as smooth when a vulture's running.
It's doing the old bird. Like,
it is more of a balance, and at first it's unsettling because you're going so far up the saddle and crashing it down. You're like, I'm not steady.
Right.
And as soon as it drops and takes off, your stomach drops, but then it catches the wind. And it's smooth. Even though you're getting the wind shear, it's a lot smoother than you thought. Henrick, you just watched him, and you saw him as first going off where he was a little bit like, oh, but he took off, and now you can't hear him any longer.
Okay. You take a deep breath and say a little prayer to Tempest.
Sabra comes up close to you, and she's like, not much to worry about, Stalwart. You'll be just fine.
Oh, of course I would.
You take off?
Yep.
Alright. Same for you. Your armor, you suddenly, on the ground, you've worn heavy armor for so long, about 20 years, that you don't think about it. The weight doesn't make any difference. On a beast going up and down, as an organic being, and then taking off, you are fully aware of the weight of your armor right now. You can feel every pound of it. And you almost sink a little low, and the vulture for a second drops and comes up. And again, you are gliding. And you can see Broderick and Henrick. You kind of naturally started following Conrad. And you guys have cut down, skimming what is really the kind of southeast. And they went almost northwest, the other group. and you hear Sabra behind you take off. And she gives out, honestly, a joyful, like, ha-ha! And she comes up and you guys are all almost flying together.
I think I'd just be like,
We're gonna let you guys at this point are searching for the Manticore. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to you for a second.
Okay.
You've heard them. You were able to. You could kind of hear, and then as you peeked out the door, you could see through one of those large. You saw just, birds taking off.
I say a little prayer to Tempest for them. I'll never tell them that.
Oh, of course not.
I think
You don't even know the prayers.
I'll just ask
It was
them.
like, protect them, Tempest.
Okay. The Great Hall has currently, you see 2 of the attendants. Some are clearing plates. Others seem to be, as you just kind of look through, they do seem to be a bit more out and about than you saw earlier when all the knights were here. One comes up from downstairs. You see one coming from up the stairs. They kind of cross paths, and that one goes down, another one goes up. Plates are cleared. You see that the plates are going downstairs.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure I have my my black #1 poison.
Oh yeah.
I put it in one of my, accessible pouches, just in case. I mean, I know how it works, but
Yeah.
if I go down, I'll take someone with me.
It's a powerful poison.
And I'm just gonna kind of watch and see. There's probably not really a pattern to what they're doing, but I'm gonna wait till they're gone, and then I'm gonna try to go upstairs.
Go upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay. It takes you, not too long. It does take you a couple minutes. They don't seem to be paying you much mind, but as you're watching, a couple of them do clearly look over as, they're pulling plates down. They don't seem to have nearly as much trouble looking you in the eye when nobody else is around. And they kind of eye you as they go. Carry the gaze a little bit longer than you're comfortable with, and then head downstairs. And you find a very clear opening.
Okay. He's going to be.
Go ahead. Roll stealth.
I think it's 21.
21.
Yep.
Your footsteps make absolutely no sound over the winds that are kind of curling through
Right.
the spire. So you're just immediately and sticking to the wall, and you can make your way up.
Right. I'm gonna get. So I know there's one more level above,
And-
which is the main level, and then there's, above that is the top. Is
So
that right? Do these stairs go all the way to the very, very tip?
They
of the
do.
top?
They go
Okay.
to the pinnacle.
Right.
The next level up that you had been on you'd seen was
was
more
Thurl.
dormitories for
That was also Thurl's.
the knights, and it was
Yeah,
Thurl.
okay.
So that's the only one in between
Okay.
that, and then that the Great Hall that you were in was still a level up from where you came in over the drawbridge, and you just went up the stairs. You know that there were, obviously, the architecture. You're like, oh, there's other rooms I didn't see, but you only went directly
Right.
up the stairs.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep going straight up.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Okay. You easily sneak to the top. As you get there and you kind of peer out the door, there is still one knight, and he's kind of got the vulture up there, and there seems to be one attendant who is.
Like a knight who hasn't taken off yet, or a knight that's just up there.
It looks like you observe for a minute. It doesn't look like he has any intention of taking off.
Oh.
He's just kind of there. But there is also one of those attendants, robed attendants, who is talking to him, and they're talking. Roll an insight.
5.
5.
not bad.
You don't know why, but from everything you've seen, it does seem a little odd. Just the way the conversation, you can't hear it.
Almost kind of like the body language. Well, I mean, I feel like their body language changed when the knights left.
And that's it. You cannot make the connection of why that's fully strange.
Right.
But the body language of this robed figure has changed.
Huh.
They're
Does
looking
this figure look different than any of the other ones I've seen? They all look the
not
same.
not in any discernible way that you can find. There's nothing that gives it away, like the robes aren't different, nothing like that.
As they're talking, is there anything that I could hide behind while they're up here? Is there like a kind of like a, I don't know.
A little bit. So I'll draw it for you.
What? Why?
Why would you need to?
Why would you need to draw it?
I'll just draw a small model here. We don't have to place your figure on it just yet.
Just yet.
So it's kind of your typical crenellated pinnacle spire. But there is, the way the stores come out, it is like one of these almost little like, it's a stone box that's come up.
That's kind of what I was imagining.
And so the door is here.
I was wondering if I could slip behind it, was what I was thinking. Even
You
if I have to hang off the edge or something.
yes, it is tight on this back end. You could potentially kind of walk along the crenellation behind where the flat surface is. Again, I will say that the winds up here are pretty heavy. But there is also a small stone block over here. That the spyglass is located here.
Right.
This is open. It's like the crenellation opens up to obviously be a launch pad. This is all grassy. The knight is kind of the vulture and the knight are here, and the attendant is right there. It's not too far. It's a bit of a dash, but as you look, you could hide behind that other block, or you could.
I'd be running right through their line of sight if I did that.
You would be. You don't know. You think, depending, you're like, if I got very lucky, just you're a professional.
Yeah. But I'm also not stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's not. He is cautious. So I'm going to try to just come out and make my way around to the back of it.
Okay. Definitely gonna need another stealth check.
Well, why? I should just assume I'm a hero when I make it.
As you are opening the door, and they will.
22?
Yeah. Just the way that you kind of wait,
I'm just kind of timing so they're talking so they turn
almost
away
get
a
that
little
the rhythm of the wind. It's not fully patterned, but it's like a big gust will come up the rocks a certain way, and it seems to kind of blow them, their hoods and their things this way, and they'll almost rock. And he'll have to keep the vulture. You wait a couple ticks, and you're like, "Yep." You slip out, and you slip behind fast and like get the door closed behind you in just enough time that you slip around as they have kind of recovered. So you will be.
So I've broken my line of sight with them.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to take my rope and grapnel out. I'm going to tie the rope around my waist. Not cinch it right around my waist, but just kind of like, almost like a bandolier across my chest, and kind of under the cloak, and I'm going to take the grapnel out, and I'm just going to have it in my hand.
Gotcha.
And I'm just going to kind of like edge around the back.
Okay.
So if I fall, I might be able to lodge the grapnel and not, tear myself in half.
Go ahead, and I'm going to have you make...
Athletics?
And...
Stealth.
I'm thinking...
I'm just going to get all my good skills.
I actually think it's going to be a bit of an acrobatics. I think it's more dex
like
at this
balance.
point. Because, the crenellation goes exactly like that. You got one up, one down, one up, and it's right up. And the wind is howling, and you're on the edge.
Do we have our little red doodads?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Let me explain that here, too.
Yeah.
So, the way we do inspiration, the reds here are player-given inspiration. If you feel somebody else has done something role-play-wise and combat imaginative, or frankly, if you just think you might need it, you can
We're kind of loose on it.
We have stretched it like, you look real, your hair looks really good today.
That's right.
Here, you get one.
Exactly. You can use it on the same turn. You get it by any means. This is our regular inspiration, which we do allow as a reroll. It's pretty liberal, but we allow it as a reroll. But this means that DM doesn't necessarily need to give it out. Plus, it encourages other players to let them know when you are going to give them a mechanical high five in game.
That's exactly what it is. Mechanical high five.
But yes, you guys have that, so feel free to roll
acrobatics.
Woo!
Well, that's a 1.
Interestingly, you just asked about inspiration.
What do you think I'm fucking ask?
So you don't want to fall to your death?
So
Yeah.
get rid of that.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you as a DM that you should definitely reroll that.
9.
A 9? Alright.
My next character.
Not relevant right now, but I'm gonna give this to Jeff because that grapple hook, like, tied around and used it to kind of edge around was pretty awesome.
Alright. At that point then, I want you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Cool.
You got this.
11?
Okay.
As my voice cracks.
Okay. I know this is a lot of rolls, but you start to go. I mean, it
Catches me.
It catches your cloak. Your weight is not distributed the way you wanted, and you start to go. You get the grappling hook in fine, and you keep from going over. But I mean, a foot goes over. Your heart stops. Your stomach tightens. It did make a sound though. I mean, digging metal in there. So I do think that they are going to get. They're each gonna get a perception check because that's a bit strange. We're gonna come back to you, my dude. We're gonna go back to the Manticore hunt.
So my next character.
Should be good. Yeah, go ahead and make a new character and be
Already done.
Good. I don't have a backup, just so you know. I'm going without a safety net.
Okay.
Same here,
Without a
apparently.
grapple.
Yeah, without a grapple tied to my waist.
Alright, you guys have taken off. And you've started, as I said, you guys have kind of started almost southeast.
Right.
And started coming up. The others have taken. And you guys, you can tell that they've, as they call it, hawking and hunting. They know what they're doing. They're almost like a retriever finds things. Like they're going up and making a line.
So the vultures are doing this, or
The knights are controlling
Okay,
them.
gotcha,
You can after a few minutes you can kind of start to see what they're doing. They're going all the way over, making a line the way you would mow a lawn, coming back an exact line going. So you guys are opposite, trying to cover the valley, searching. You guys didn't pick up on that at first, but I'm going to have you guys actually roll as you guys are trying to spot. Let's see.
Yeah. Also, if it's okay, right before we make this roll, I would shout to the stalwart over the breeze.
Stalwart, you seem to have taken to the air quite well.
I'll give you a bardic inspiration. And you can have this one.
Wait, which one is that?
Best friends.
Bullshit!
Top 1 friends.
Dude, you're doing great.
I am not doing great. I would be doing great if I had that.
Okay. So, I'm going to start with having you roll just a straight up d20, and then I'm going to roll a d20 for the other group.
Ooh.
Okay. You guys. You see Conrad, and he's kind of looking over. He's like, I think I see something in the distance. You look. And you're like, what is that? And then you see it. You see almost bat-like wings cutting around. And you see spikes coming out from a mane and down the back into a tail. And it's the face of a lion. And I mean, the wings are cutting, and its paws and legs are tucked up, and you can see it kind of strafing down. You guys are within 100 feet right now.
I think Broderick couldn't help but be excited about it, since he is a Waterdavian noble, so probably.
I'm sure, and
enjoy
you've
hunting.
seen like Griffin Riders around Waterdeep
Sure.
all your life.
So I think he probably, even against trying to be detached, he'd be like, "Ah,
There it is, Stalwart!
And you see it, and Salver's like, she's like, surrounded, flank it! And you guys kind of set off, and I'm going to be, this is a Chimera model, but we're going to be using this
Close
for a
enough.
Manticore.
Go ahead and use a Chimera. You're killing me anyway.
Yeah, man.
I didn't do it to myself.
So,
I'm gonna get on your way. As you set up, Alyssa says hi. Says you're doing great. Oh, dang!
what up, Alyssa? Alright, so we're just going to pop this, in the tomb of Naas over here.
You son of a bitch.
No, that's alright.
Did you not find a griffin in there? Am I
There might
thinking?
have been a griffin.
Yeah, they're pretty sure there's one. Don't worry about it.
So I'm going to.
So who's riding the rock?
The rock is clearly Conrad
Okay.
because he kind of sucks. So we're just gonna say this is you, Broderick. This is you, Henrick. This is Sabra. This is Conrad.
Got it. I'm blue, which is the best. And
So
Drew is
they,
red.
Just tie for back.
so they set out this way. I'm gonna need you guys to roll initiative.
Oh.
Typical initiative roll for me. Roll some death saves.
I have an idea.
Looking forward to it. Just not rubbing in, but
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, he's your best friend.
we're best friends.
Dude, if you were here, I would let you know that you were doing great.
Yeah, but not the same.
Not that you're best
That's
friends.
even more of an insult.
Okay. Sabra and Conrad are gonna act at the same time. For ease. Okay. Initiative.
How's 4?
Loser. I'm not in the comments, so I'm just going to taunt you.
I just can't hear you because you're dead.
Bastard. You'll hear me screaming in a minute.
All right. You've seen it feel and in fact, something about battle in this way, like kind of hunting down. You almost forget your ill at ease nature of riding a giant vulture and immediately just start coming in.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of trying to get a handle of it, so you're like, I see it, but you're following him. It has taken notice of you guys too, and it kind of cuts and lets out just a blood-curdling snarl, and we're just like,
Question.
Yes.
Are we within 8 hours of my casting of mage armor?
Yes.
Alright. I'm up first.
You are up first.
What's the fly speed of the giant vulture?
Let me tell you.
We using our kind of slightly tweaked house rules for...
Yes, and keep me
Yep.
Keep me
I
going
got you.
on it, 'cause
So,
I'm still-
the way it works for us, Andrew, is we decide whether your mount is going to act first or second behind you when it's a controlled mount like this. And you just have to stick to that. So I'm going to act after my mount.
Okay.
I'll let my mount act first.
You have a 60-foot fly speed.
Alright. I think, again, forgetting himself somewhat. He's like, "Yeah, there it is, stalwart! I mean, I think he'll draw his rapier and lean forward in the saddle to dive. And we're going for it. So, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, dash, 10, 20, 30, 40.
It was. You were about maybe 20 feet above it, which, I mean, obviously it still works, but
Yeah.
it was at a declination, and you just... And, I mean, the tucked wings of the vulture are just kind of... And you start coming in hot.
And I would cut it so that I could swing by and swipe with his, really kind of poke with his rapier.
All right, the manticore is there. You see leathery wings and a spiked face.
Alright, let's not regret this. Yeah, okay. 20...
Oh,
sorry, I
yeah.
forget my stats. 22.
Oh, sure, yeah, man. Let me check that.
22 gets him?
Yeah.
Great. 10 damage.
Okay. Yeah. Got that. The notepads.
Oh, yeah, there's a bazillion
Ah,
around.
here we go.
Going? Yeah,
Should I have any war priests used?
yes, we haven't had a...
Wait, I don't want to.
Well, did they come back on a short rest or a long rest?
Long.
Long.
Okay,
Yeah, we haven't had a
good
long
note.
rest since last time.
Do you want more?
You good?
Yeah. So that was 10 damage you did?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You, come screaming in, and the vulture is, again, trained that it's almost, though it's not attacking, it is pecking almost as a distraction, and the manticore is trying to bat it away, and you come in right right under one of its arms and just dig it in, and it howls in pain and starts snarling at you.
Bring it.
Anything else on your turn, my dude?
Nope, that's all I got.
Alright, it is absolutely focused on you. I mean, it turns and its wings kind of come up and it raises to where it's flapping at the vulture. It's trying, and it spins around to hit you with what you see is a spiked tail coming directly at you.
This should be fine.
So what's your armor class, my dude? 16?
18.
18.
Oh, because I have a shield, I probably can't be using my shield. I'm probably holding onto the reins with left hand. I don't think you can not have a... Yeah, so 16. I should have thought this through somewhat.
You remind me of my youngest grandson.
That's a miss, my dude. So the tail swings, it misses, and it kind of continues to come around the other way. Absolutely not.
I'll take it.
One more comes
Oh,
around.
okay.
That one gets you.
Alright.
It swings twice, and you think it couldn't possibly whip around that fast. And it does. And spikes dig into you. You take 11 damage, my man.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. And as the spike comes in, you've never dealt with a manticore before, it pierces you, and then the tail just breaks off the spike and rips back, kind of whips back. So the spike is still right
How much
there.
did you take?
11.
I feel safer where I am.
Yeah.
With that, that is
Yikes.
its turn. So now it is the two of them.
I got you. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
they're both going to do the exact same. They're both going to dash in.
Maybe he kind of comes in like that. I mean, they've got plenty of movement
Yep.
to surround the thing.
Okay, and they are both going to make...
Maybe they had plenty of it left. Flank it, is what she said.
Alright. Conrad is swinging with that beautiful and unused longsword. And he hits.
I mean, nice, I guess.
So that training Tony's working on.
He only barely does. I mean, you see him, and he's laughing as he does it. He's like, ha ha ha! He nicks it. I mean, and it seems almost unfazed as it growls at him. Sabra, though, actually has a spear, and she comes in the other side, and I mean, rears up and goes to dig in. She goes right past it. She misjudges it. So there, this manticore is almost frantically spinning around the three of
It's up
you.
to you. Gotta kill it this round.
And you guys are all almost circling still too. You haven't really recognized it, but a full aerial battle is going on.
Nice.
Henrick.
Wait, so they are on the ground or not?
Nah, we're circling. We're
No.
just 20 feet down, but we were way up in the air.
Yeah, you guys
That's right.
are.
The mountain can just dash.
Yeah, the mountain can dash.
So yeah, you can go wherever you want.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
It's got 120 movement if you dash.
To paint the picture, to let you know, you are about 250 feet above the floor of the valley right now.
Don't forget that you can now add my bardic inspiration to damage you deal, or to temporarily raise your AC. Weapon damage, not like any spell damage.
I think I'd say, what is his name, Conrad?
Yes, Conrad.
Be careful, Conrad, don't get any blood on you. Like, sort of jokingly, but also I'm serious. You good? You good? No, no.
You see him turn, I mean, and make a face of pure disgust.
Henrick, like, you mad? Question
I
mark.
don't think Henry could help himself. He knows wasn't the smartest dude.
Naas, as he's precariously stating, he just smiles for some reason.
Yeah, he doesn't
He's
know
not really
why.
sure. He just kind of laughs to himself.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and swing on him. Talking trash.
No.
10.
10? Right now, man. You have that mace. You come up high and you think you're gonna get it, but it just ducks a wing and almost just kind of immediately misses it. You realize that this thing is used to being in flight a little bit harder. And I mean, Conrad looks vindicated.
I think maybe not tactically the smartest thing to do, but Henrick's not going to be okay with just missing, so he's going to use War Priest and try again.
Yeah. Henrick looks at you
After the trash talking.
looks to you and looks to Savras like
16.
you hit.
For 9.
Might as well re-roll it.
Oh, right, yeah.
9.
You're using Savage Attacker to re-roll.
As your arm's down, you see, as soon as you see his smug face, you just, raise your mace like it's just an extension of your arm. Swing across its head, and the manticore, you see just blood come out the side, dig into its, there's still mane, spiked mane attached to your mace, and it roars. We're back to you, Broderick.
Alright. Broderick is going to try to catch the manticore's eyes and try to plant in its mind an image of it as a young little manticore-ling, and how afraid it was when its mother wouldn't return the food and cast this in it whispers.
Oh, yes, my dude.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
I didn't have a childhood.
5 damage.
Was never a child.
And interact, he'll put his sword away.
You see its eyes almost look suddenly not at the battle.
Does it take half from that?
Yeah, 5 damage.
Yeah, I
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was just curious.
And you see it let out a whimper for a moment, and then it just looks up again and roars. Jeff, since you're here, I'm gonna have you roll.
Attack for them?
Decide who. I'm gonna have you roll.
I can roll who he attacks.
It's going to be 1 or 2, 1 Conrad, 2 Savra, so a D4. 3 is going to be Broderick, 4 is going to be Henrick.
Okay, so it's 4-sided.
Yeah.
I think you said 1, 2.
Oh,
3,
no,
4.
I'm sorry. That is Conrad.
Yes.
Alright, so it
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Even in death.
Useful. Turns towards...
What? I'm not dead yet. I'm happy.
Don't forget you can burn up some bardic inspirations and stuff. Actually, that was my last one, so use it wisely. Wait, did I already mark that off?
You did. That's what you
Then
wanted.
I got one more.
Yeah. That manticore hits Conrad just barely. He's like, oh, beast, have your head on the wall. And it just comes up with the tail and digs right in.
I hope he dies.
Okay. Mark. I'm gonna continue this before that. It continues on Conrad. A good day. Can't quite get it with the second one. Swings around again.
I give it a bardic inspiration.
All right, so he does have a spike right through the center. The sound he lets out is certainly unflattering. Like his composure starts to
Alright, then I'm going to give the manticore.
It is now their go. Conrad pulls out the spike and is like, you've ruined my armor.
Oh god.
He completely, he doesn't even, he's just almost swings wildly. Stavra, on the other hand, is completely focused. And in fact, she's like, Quit your whining, Conrad.
Yep.
She is.
I kind of like Sabra. Don't like
I mean,
Conrad.
compared.
Yeah.
She gets a good jab in and pulls out. And that is both of them. Henrick, it's to you.
Keep on swinging. I guess I don't have my shield out, do I?
You do not.
Wah, wah.
Doing great. I'll go ahead and spend Channel Divinity that I forgot I had, so that makes it 18.
Yeah.
18?
Yep.
Jesus.
Goddamn
Yeah,
priest.
you absolutely
War
hit.
priest, best priest. Don't forget Bardic Inspiration, you can add to damage.
And what is it, D6?
D6.
And I decide after I roll, or
I think it's after you roll.
Yeah.
Mhm.
what is going to be my only attack? So either
Mhm.
6 or... So, wait, would I be able to roll the Bardic
Mhm.
Inspiration? Reroll the
No,
Bardic
that's
That's
for
weapon-
weapon
it's
damage.
weapon damage.
Although I don't know. Does it add? It says when you hit with a weapon, add the number rolled to a weapon's damage roll it just made.
Yeah, but I think there's another
Add it
precedent.
to the roll.
What am I thinking of? But isn't the same precedent with Great Weapon Mastery with re-rolling those dice? Like you can't re-roll. Like remember if you have elemental damage on the weapon.
Yeah. Although I did discover you can actually reroll the elemental
Oh, you
damage.
can?
You can't reroll extra. You can't reroll like a smite or something else,
Okay.
or a spelly boy.
Then I would
or-
say you could re-roll it. Then.
I think you probably can.
That's obviously up to
I
shit.
think I'm gonna have to look at the wording.
I'll go with it.
It'd be boring to look it up right now. I'll look
Can't
it
do
up.
this
That's
anyway,
what we
so
can
I'll
do.
save it. So
Okay.
11.
So 11?
Oh, wait, no, sorry. 9.
9.
I was adding my last characters.
Yeah, again, you kind of drag your mace across its back, coming down. It's tearing into it. It's now fighting just, not that it wasn't primal before, but it's a bit more frantic, just snarling.
I think I'd, after each successful blow, give Conrad a little bit of a...
A look.
A smug look.
Not like a menacing look, but
A smoke.
kind of.
He does not notice right now. I mean, he's still like
Really.
in between it and like, I mean, he's holding his wound tightly, trying to hold onto the reins and use his sword.
It's somewhere between friendly competition and I hate you.
Yeah.
Like trying to play it off like friendly
Right,
companies,
right,
like, haha, I got this one, but the end, you're like, God, I hate you.
Yeah. Broderick.
All right. Yeah. Broderick is going to interact to pull out his wand and unleash a level 1 magic missile on the thing.
Damn.
Not bad.
Wow.
Yeah, 12, sorry. 12, and then on the sly, he's going to try to cast Healing Word on himself.
Okay.
Like he's like, ha maybe try to pull that thing out. Big 5 hit points back.
You do. As you do it, you pull out the spike and say it over the wound, and you can feel it roughly close up.
That's me.
All right. Jeff, will you roll that d4 again? My
Oh, of course. What's his number?
He is 4.
And he's 3.
No, he is 3 and you're 4.
Okay.
You know this is a cooperative game, right?
I know. I don't want to roll high. That's why I'm
Okay.
using this die.
Alright.
It rolls low typically. At that time,
Right.
4.
You've been making a ton of purchase with your mace, and it doesn't fully understand the intricacies of magic, invisible missiles hitting it. It's going to focus on you.
I'm sorry.
And your armor class right now is 17?
Whatever shield subtracts from 19.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
That's your armor class.
I don't think Bardic
Plus.
Inspiration's going to take care of that.
Let me see. Take 6 damage as you feel a spike puncture that strange earthen armor. Tries to hit you again, but you're able to kind of duck out of the way. It gets you again on the Other way around, though, for 9 more damage. So you've got a spike that came in here, went around, and now you've got a spike kind of hanging out your back shoulder.
9 left.
All right.
Crybaby.
Right.
All right. Conrad tries to redeem himself. And he does. He comes and swings down as he sees an opening from you taking damage. Yeah. And he, tears right down its shoulder and kind of under its belly.
I forget you can add to your AC as Bardic
Yeah, I
Inspiration.
thought about it. On
Okay,
15,
alright,
but
just making sure you weren't forgetting.
And then Sabra kind of comes around the side. And she takes her hands off the reins, and you can see her legs squeeze, and she plunges the spear in with 2 hands.
Oh,
Not
She
bad.
skewers it, and you suddenly hear it let out one last. As she lets her spear go, and you see the wings kind of go limp as it's just dead weight. Plunges
Awesome.
200 feet. We're gonna just take a quick break as the
Alright.
Manticore hunt is done, and
The funeral of Naas begins.
you hold on for dear life.
Alright.
We'll be back in just a
Grab
couple
some
minutes,
buffalo
guys.
wings.
I hope you're enjoying.
Alright, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial.
Speak softly, darling. A shadow on your face. Speak softly softly now.
And we're back. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. So last we left, the Manticore was killed on the Manticore hunt. Final blow by Savra.
Mm-hmm.
You had tried to sneak up to the pinnacle, nearly lost your footing due to the winds, managed to catch yourself with the quick thinking of the grappling hook, but she made a significant noise with that metal grinding into stone.
Sure, it's fine.
Yeah, you should be fine.
And they rolled really bad on their perception rolls.
Yeah, like 19, 17.
Yeah.
No. As the Manticore falls, Sabra, retakes her reins, and I mean, she's watching it fall, with the look of victory. Conrad kind of calls back. He's like, I'm sure you can recover the head yourselves. I'm going to head back. And he takes off, and you see him, pick up the horn, and he blows once, and then he does a quick 2 blows after that, like, "Womp, womp, womp." And you can, in a second, you hear a call of, the exact same horn.
From the tower?
From
the other
from
party.
the other party.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes off flying. And Sabra, definitely cuts eyes at him, and then she kind of takes off, She's going in a circle
Trophy.
to get the trophy.
Man, I should have been one of us.
Should have been. You guys are better.
I think I'm gonna fly back with Conrad. Were they expecting us to help?
No, I think I would say surely this is open with the head is not our responsibility.
Yes, I would intend to agree, and besides, we better check on Naas. I have a bad feeling.
Yeah, we'll. I think I would fall in behind Conrad.
Okay. You guys are flying back.
Cool.
Naas.
What?
will say reluctantly because I think, what's her name again?
Sabra.
Henrick got some respect for Sabra, especially when put side by side with Conrad, the unsavory.
She, and from what you saw, I mean, in the Manticore fight, I mean, she didn't look necessarily experienced, but she clearly had, like, just talent and dedication. Like, her eyes were focused on what she was doing.
Talent as opposed to nice armor.
That's right. Though her armor is equally as nice as his, what did not seem to be a concern. So you guys fall in. You catch yourself, clutch your hand to your chest to almost keep your heart from beating out of it, and you hear footsteps come over, and you see a robed face go over, and then you see one of the knights. And I mean, they look completely shocked for a moment. And you do see that the robed figure, I mean, looks at you shocked, cuts eyes, like, turns to the knight quickly, and he's like, "What are you doing up there?"
What's it look like I'm doing, you fool?
He's like,
I'm gonna steal everything in this keep from you. You fools, I can't believe you let me in here.
he's like, "Get down from there now."
Come and get me, boy.
He's like,
And as he does that, I'm gonna slide a hand into my thing, and I'm gonna get a handful of ball bearings.
"Okay, all right."
Go on.
So you're gonna have to get me off of here, because I'm not leaving. And as he comes, I'm just gonna, you want me to roll sleight of hand?
Yeah.
21? Oof.
Yeah. All right. He's like, out of my way. He draws a sword. You know, he starts to climb up on the crenellation.
As he's like starting to climb up, I'm just gonna.
Okay.
What is a ball bear? I've never.
It is it's 11 reflex, I think.
Yeah. It's
Sorry,
just like
no,
a
it's
handful
10.
of
It's a
little-
dex.
No, I know what it is.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I
What
just.
is it? What's the game
Yeah.
mechanics?
It's a 10
It's a 10.
dex. Yeah.
Ooh. He gets up looking just furious, and he comes to you. The tip of his sword, I mean, is about ready that he could thrust it right into you. And he slips, tries to catch, and he does. He absolutely, like, hits the wall hard, bounces off of it, and I mean, it's a Wilhelm scream of
Jeff hates the Wilhelm.
I really do. But that's fine.
And, I mean, his sword goes.
And basically, what I'm going to do is, as he's starting to fall, I'm going to grab him and use his momentum and push off, and I'm going to dive towards the acolyte or whatever the attendant is.
Oh, got you. Take that, and so as he falls, you're going to use that momentum and try to dive. Okay.
And as a, and I'm going to,
Draw the dagger?
yep, draw red zero.
Well, this is not at all how I thought this was.
I love it, man. Nah. That was awesome.
Figured it was a small chance of working, but
Hey, when it works, it works.
It worked.
Okay, so you dive.
I'm going to have you make a. We'll do it acrobatics.
okay. Oh, mother.
Jeez, do it.
Okay, 21
Yeah.
or 20.
You managed to grab on to the attendant. There's no, you can't necessarily attack due to the way it is, but you manage to swing, kind of shove him away as you dive back into the pinnacle, like within the crenellation, and you guys are standing 5 feet from each other. Let's roll initiative.
Get it, my dude.
You have no sneak attack, though. Oh.
Oh boy. Okay.
4.
Well,
All right.
too late, but
Yeah, you better help him out, Sam.
certainly deserved. And needed.
Okay. Roll a d6. All right. You guys are 6 turns away.
You're welcome.
Andrew. Yeah.
Hi, can I
Great.
that
Roll,
for-
roll
Give me
it.
reroll.
Roll it high was awesome.
You
This should
you
be fun.
do have enough time to see
That's
that
good and bad though.
Yeah,
there's
that's true.
you can see that
They're
like,
coming.
you can see just in the distance from your vantage point. You're looking that way. You can see winged figures starting to come back, and they're close, but you know how fast this will go.
It's a cool mental shot.
That is cool.
Top of the tower with a bunch of flyboys in the back.
Okay. As it goes, you see it like kind of pull open the robe, and what you did not see before are just rows of fucking daggers.
Oh, nice. I just nod. I nod respectfully.
It pulls one,
To the dagger.
and you can see that as he flips it on his finger, he's like, Hassan. And he tosses it right at you.
We're not next to each other.
You guys are like 5 feet away, right?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Let's fucking put this out here. Broderick. I should. In fact, I'm gonna draw the whole thing because this might become quite important here in a minute.
While you were setting that up, Wiley gave some props on the music. Blessing your Bandcamp page for the new jump.
Sweet.
It's good. Good stuff. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
like garbage.
I didn't love it.
It's good.
It was good.
That's what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
It's
Thanks,
good.
Mom.
It's good.
Without
Great.
punctuation.
Step
Get out of your way.
right in here for a minute. Crenellation kind of stops right here,
Mm-hmm.
and this is almost the
The landing.
mini landing
Right.
pad. There's a little thing here. There's a block, kind of almost steps right here. The spyglass is right here. There is still a vulture
Mm-hmm.
chilling right here. And then, what did I do? You are right here. Sorry, Macy. And
Pick in opportune places to sleep, doggy.
it was right here. And in fact, actually, with that, it would have taken a couple steps back as he did that.
Okay.
So yeah, as he's backing up, he drew that, and then yeah, you saw him whisper something, breathe into his hand, and toss a dagger at you. Definitely think he got you.
Good.
Still straight up. Hits you for 4 damage. And then, yeah, you see another dagger go out and him kind of take the posturing. And as he's doing it, the wind kind of blows back the hood. It's just a man behind it, but his robes are blowing now in the wind. Your cloak is going as you guys just have daggers out.
It's a cool mental image.
All right. Well, I'll just. As I'm moving up, I'll take another dagger out.
So you got the 2. You have your
My
razor.
razor in my main hand, and that.
Gotcha.
And I will attack. The red will be razor.
Gotcha.
Probably not. 11,
Right now.
and the other one's a 19
Oh yeah.
for 2 points of damage.
I mean, you dig in and you get that though he had a ton of daggers, like his leather armor, he doesn't seem like he's completely martial, and even that dagger gets right in his gut. You see it hurt.
Okay.
I mean, he starts breathing heavy. He gets at you with a dagger himself. 15 get you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I'm liking this dagger knife fight. You been tracking turns over there?
This is the first turn.
This is the second round now, right? Yeah. This
Oh,
is-
you're right. This is this is round 2. Yeah, you're right,
He
yeah.
hits you for 5 damage.
Ouch.
But it is your go, my man.
All right.
Wait a second, count down. More exciting.
11 again,
Appropriate music.
and a 16
16 gets him.
for 4.
Appropriate-ish.
Uh,
Find some royalty
Whereas
stuff.
you had it in the other way, you kind of try to give a high hit with Rezier, but as you're doing it, you flip it over on this side and catch him just in the other side. He just, I mean, you hear the pierce go through stomach. But he is breathing heavy, but he is still up. He looks, the blood is pouring out, those white robes are getting soaked. He goes to hit you.
Man.
He gets you for 4 more.
It's a new turn, by the way. Enemy going
This
first.
is, yep. Alright.
14.
Yeah, you got him. Was that with Rezier? Tight.
For 8.
8? How do you want to kill him?
So I kept hitting him with my offhand, and I basically fainted with that, and like kind of bring it around, and as he maybe clumsily attack with it, the other one just comes across his throat
Oh,
and
yeah.
just.
He does. He starts watching that hand because he's seeing
Actually, I take that
something
back.
going on.
He would jab it up under his armpit.
Oh, fuck yeah. You get it, and I mean, you stick it, it makes no sound at all. And it's just the howling wind behind you, and I mean, he looks in your eyes one last time as you pull it out.
No, I don't. I
Oh, you
keep
don't.
it in, and I'm going to use it as leverage to drag him to the other side where I threw the other knight off.
Okay. Alright.
Yep. Nice.
You absolutely toss him over.
I go back to where I killed him.
Uh-huh.
Quickly, I'll bonus dash back.
Yeah.
And I look to the ground, and I just kind of like rub the blood into the dirt in the grass.
There was a significant amount of blood, but okay, I'm gonna give them a -5 penalty to just
Fine.
notice.
And then, kind of clean the daggers off, put them back in, and I just head back down to the room if I can.
Well, you make it inside for sure. Just as about the point where it almost thought you saw like a figure or the door closed as you guys were setting up, and Conrad sets down, you guys set down, and Conrad gets down and he's just like, it's like, well, I hope you enjoyed your first hawking and hunting. If you'll excuse me.
How many times have you been out like that? If I may ask.
Plenty. I mean, he seems to get that he might have nothing else to say.
I think I'd say, do you need me to tend to your wound?
Yes, the stalwart is quite capable in field medicines.
Only asking because it'll make him feel
Oh,
a
yeah,
little more
no,
inferior.
I'm with you.
He's a bit too distracted, even though his head's down. He thinks for a minute that he sees something, and he's like, what? And then you say that you're going to attend to his wounds, and he's like, I thank you, but that most certainly will not be necessary. And he opens the door and slams it as he goes in.
I think I mumble, well, only gonna get his armor even dirtier.
By the way,
But he's
just I'm gonna quaff a healing potion on my way down.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, go ahead and roll it. I trust you.
It's one of us.
Well, that's bad.
you kind of make it to the bottom of the stairs, though, to the Great Hall, I mean, you're moving fairly stealthily. The Great Hall is now, you hear before you reach it, it is fairly filled. Like, you can hear Thurl in there talking. You can start to see, like, some of those rogue figures around. So there's like 4 figures, but Thurl, you can, just from the way the echoes are, you can tell he's sitting back in the exact same position. Right. That, and you can kind of hear him be like, anytime now, they should be back. Or that horn, they're certainly finished. You do feel like you hear some of the rogue figures. You can't make it out, and you're also not at a vantage point to see where they're like, "Oh, Commander," just whispering.
I'll peek out. Do they have line of sight through the hallway to where our room is?
They would. It would be. You'll definitely be in full view if you're even going to walk back to the room. It would be incredibly difficult to not be seen. Also, though, as you get to the bottom of it, you can start to hear landing.
I'm gonna go down and just kind of go down keep going down the stairs, and I'm gonna try to break line of sight, and I'm gonna wait till I hear people coming down, and then my intent is to try to roll in behind them as they're going into the hallway, the Great Hall.
Seemed like you were just rolling with them the whole time.
Yeah. I got you. So you're going almost halfway down a level, like underneath.
Yeah,
the
just
Great
kind of
Hall.
waiting. If, hopefully I'll catch them, but if I don't, I'll just try to stealth in behind the group.
Okay. You hear at least a door slam and some almost huffy.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'll wait.
I'll
wait for that one to go
coming
past.
down. As you guys are up top, though, the other group comes in, and I mean they're looking kind of eagerly. They're like, "So you found it and killed it? Was it one of you?"
Afraid Sulphur got the final blow, but the stalwart and I put a hurting on it. Exhilarating.
Well, it certainly is. That manticore has proved trouble for us for a while, and we've been hunting that one for at least a year. As we've come up here, not all at once. Good for Savra. Another one's like, "Hear, hear to Savra. Good for her."
I'm sorry to eliminate some of your sport, but I'm sure there'll be other quarries soon.
They kind of look at each other. I mean, they seem to be treating this as a collective victory, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sure we'll have plenty more quarries." And I mean, you can see them ripping each other, punching each other as you remember young soldiers doing. And I mean, really, just a minute or two later, you see Savra's. You didn't even see her coming, but she almost ceremoniously had her vulture come up, like she had almost strafed the tower, come up and land. And I mean, she has got it.
She buzzed the tower.
Oh yeah, she has got it with rope tied on a manticore head on the side of her mount. And I mean, she lands, is smiling, gets off. They rush to her and are like, "Ah, Savra!" And she's like, "Ah, thanks, lads." And I mean, she looks, honestly, to you, almost like she's trying to make eyes and like, because you've had trouble, like she's looking for a little approval.
Oh man, and he would nod at her.
Here, here. Well fought, well earned.
She's like, still breathing heavy. She's like, "Thank you. I just saw it. When I saw the opening, I could do it." She's like, "Only thanks to you, Master Priest. You were tearing into it with that mace."
Don't sell yourself short.
She's like, "Thank you." Just rubs your arm. I mean, in some ways, like, her decorum has fallen, like, just in the moment of victory. Like, she's not holding herself up. She's truly enjoying the moment.
I'm sure Broderick would be genuinely smiling.
Yeah, I mean,
It was pretty exciting.
Henrick doesn't have any hatred for her yet, I don't think.
I do think he would then be like, "Oh boy, where's Naas?"
You two, it doesn't make much difference to you. I mean, one of them you hear, you're like, "Where's Ellen? This is his mount." They don't investigate any further, but it just seems curious. Whether or not you guys think that means anything to you, you can decide. However, people start going inside.
Is anybody around us watching? Not watching, but like anybody we need to say, we'd like to excuse ourselves to clean our weapons.
I mean, everybody's a little bit like.
I'm sure we could kind of pull up to each other, kind of backstab everyone else, right? And yeah, he'd pull his rapier and be wiping the blade off.
I wonder what Naas got up to.
Best get away as soon as we can to find out.
Both of y'all roll perception.
Description.
14.
15.
You got a 15?
Yeah.
Even though Savras has like some blood like dripping from the manticore head, you look down, you've been in enough, you're like, that's blood on the grass. And you also are like, that's blood that's definitely like hasn't just dropped like somebody's. You like spilled the wine on your mom's carpet. And somebody tried to do it. You notice that for sure. It's definitely out of place. You do not.
Yeah, I don't think I can tell them yet.
Well, we best be heading down.
I'd be looking like who to give the reins to.
And two of them come over and they're like, I'll take those. They're like, Ellen was supposed to be doing this, but seems he's gone back for more of the feast.
Dereliction of duty. Can't blame him. The food was excellent.
Indeed. We do have rules.
Think,
Maybe we'll just have to give him a beating.
like
Jokingly.
Henrick would start putting the pieces together rather than a little nervous. He's not very
You're like,
receptive. Yeah,
No.
delicious meal.
At that point, the other two knights from the other party and Sabra and you guys, I mean, you're kind of clearly all converging. Like, it's gonna go in, yeah.
Is that Maisie
It's
snoring?
not me farting, it's her dreaming.
Oh, the dog, the mascot.
And you hear, you can still hear that it's two above, like, the Great Hall room, that there's the other knights dormitory there. I mean, you heard that stomping come in and a door open and a door slam, and you can start to hear armor being doffed in a room. And then are you guys going inside?
Yeah, we would definitely have.
You then hear, kind of a cacophony of voices up there that clearly sound victorious.
Right.
And I mean, they're kind of marching down.
Okay. Just kind of do a little looky-loo.
Okay. You guys make your way
Back to the Great Hall.
back to the Great Hall.
Well, I'm literally waiting for the last person to come down, and I'm gonna roll. Unless there happen to be alone, which I doubt they are.
I think they're
Group.
rolling in at about the same time, but I mean, I think you guys would be in the back though. Sabra took up clearly the front with her manticore head.
I think we would have
The
been
other
hanging
two.
back a little.
I think likely they would have got in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys come back through. Savra, you see her kind of as the stairs with the light of the Great Hall and the torches. You see her come through, beaming, holding up a manticore head, and you hear Thurl like clapping. Even though he's got his armor on and his full regalia, he's like, that's a girl. He's like, I thought it would be you, Savra. Somehow I felt it in these older bones. And she's like, Lord Commander, it was quite a hunt. She's like, Conrad took a good hit. He's like, it'd be good for him. And the other two come out, and I mean, they've got like hands on her shoulders, like shaking her as they come back. And then you guys kind of descend.
And I've also got a nice bloody shirt with a big tear in my gown.
You hear all of them at this point.
Coming down the stairs?
Now, you heard Savra being praised.
Okay.
The other two, and you can kind
I
of...
look up and make sure that like no one's coming down, and then I was stealthing behind.
I'm not even going to make you roll it. I think the commotion combined with the fact that you absolutely know what you're doing, within a second, you guys feel Naas
Whoever's in the back, I just put my hand on their shoulder.
Actually, I think it'd probably be you. And you do. You feel the presence, and you feel a hand, and you do the look, and it's Naas. And he looks a little out of breath.
I'm a little caught up, I'm sure.
I'm back to 16 to 24.
Yeah, I think you.
I healed 6 or 7.
I think you covered your wounds. I just think.
But I will, as he looks back, I'll open up and show him a wound.
You're
I
a
just
little.
give you a look. I can't really say anything.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could. You have a second if you wanted to.
Without anybody hearing.
The Savra has continued to walk out. The knights have kind of filled behind her. Broderick is walking out right at that.
Broderick will be looking for the wine.
I think it's a
Hunting's thirsty work.
is that blood up there, your own?
It is not. I killed 2 of them.
We still need for a surprise.
You come out.
I think
Broderick has no
I think
idea.
I would just kind of. Is he within grabbing distance?
No.
Okay.
I think just they kind of have like almost like pulled the next person with them out.
Yeah.
And Sabra, in all honesty, was kind of looking back for Broderick specifically.
Yeah.
And she's like, Lord Commander, she's like, the stalwart and Master Broderick, they have prowess I've rarely seen here. They cut into it with a rapier and the mace. You guys can hang back to talk to him for a minute. You're walking
I'm
out.
wrapped up in
You're walking out, and Thurl's like, somehow I don't doubt that.
You are too kind, Savra. It was truly your spear work that dealt the final blow. Well earned. A bit of wine there.
Thurl's like, please, all of you drink. And he's like, Savra, your father would be proud. She kind of has a solemn look for a moment, but then kind of pulls up and shakes her head proudly.
Broderick just put his hand on her shoulder. Just kind of give it a squeeze.
She almost forgets herself for a moment and, like, puts a hand up and kind of squeezes it for a
Broderick will
second.
get it.
Do you guys want to hang back any longer?
I just, all I'm going to do is I'm going to whisper one thing in his head, and I'm going to go into the room.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm going to say, the attendants are killers. And I move into the room.
All right.
I'd be going down, trying to find a moment to snap Broderick out of his.
Broderick's probably getting cut up and like,
Oh, yes, I saw that.
Surely nothing can be wrong.
You guys come out and the 2 knights, have already started drinking and seem to feel their commander's warmth too, and they're like, Stalwart!
I'd be uncomfortable knowing what he just said and also not being a very good actor.
And you do see that the attendants, they're just kind of in the places that, the servants would be. Like, wine is now set out in the time that you were up there. Thurl sitting there, and they're down, but their heads are back down to, bowed. But there's about 4 of them, and there's 2 knights in here, Savra and Thurl, plus y'all.
And
Just-
you're telling us the amount of people? Just kidding.
Just giving you
2
a
knights, Savra, Thurl. How many of those servant peeps? 4 he's in there.
He's like, well, come sit. They don't seem to think it's straight. Like, nobody is looking at you right now.
Well, I'm not there.
Yeah, he left.
I went into our bedroom.
Oh, my
Party
bad.
remains
Yeah.
divided.
I'm in my bedroom resting.
Okay. All right, my bad. To do that, then you will need to make a stealth because you would have had to
Cross over a bunch of
you
people
would have had to
doing
cross.
all
I
that.
misunderstood, so I will have you do a stealth for that one.
17.
Yeah, good enough. There's enough distraction going on. You make it in, and the feast kind of continues on. It's now almost like some desserts are set out, but there's still almost just salted meats, just that you can just kind of grab. It's not really dinner food anymore.
Right.
And there's wine, there's ale, there's mead. And Thurl's like, please, come, sit.
Could we perhaps be excused for a moment? This armor been weighing.
Oh man, I think Broderick could just start.
What are you talking about, Stalwart?
And Broderick, you're looking a bit rough yourself.
Thurl's like, suppose it'd be best you can get cleaned up.
Ah,
And then
yes.
we'll continue drinking.
Could stand to change shirts, I suppose.
Yes, look at this.
As you guys depart, the knights, are clearly leaning into their commander, and they're like, you can tell just by the way they're talking that they're like, came up, and Savra is like,
Yeah.
and he looks genuinely, completely pleased in obviously his small company of knights.
Everyone's all excited and everything.
They are excited. You guys open up the door. They come in. You guys are all together again for the
How
first
long
time.
did that take?
Essentially as long as it took. Like maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Like
Short rest.
yes. Yeah.
How's
I actually
your-
have some hit dice left.
We've shortened rests to 5 minutes.
You can do 2 short rests. Between a long rest, they're 3 to 10 minutes. Just essentially pulling back up into yourself and healing. But it's worked out awesome so far.
No cat naps. That
Yeah,
felt
it's been
silly.
pretty great. When we go in there, I would also take a short rest.
Yeah.
Are we?
Just, if we go to
Yeah.
we go
it's
to
up
the
us
room.
whether we think it's suspicious or not. Yeah.
Is that all right?
Oh, yeah.
Close the door.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Naas, what did you get up to? You were out.
Well,
Broderick has no idea. He didn't see the blood.
How long does this last?
10 minutes, so it's probably gonna.
yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna use it on the next.
it was a good use. Yeah, glad I
Defcon.
gave. Definitely glad I gave.
Well,
Get rid of the best
I
fit.
went up there.
To the spire.
Yes.
You sure did.
And?
There were 2 of them up there, a knight and one of the attendants.
Now there are 0. I think Henrick will be a little.
Yeah. I had to kill them both.
What? What happened?
I was out on a ledge, and I was in a kind of precarious situation, and they heard me. The wind up there was terrible, almost blew me off the tower. And, they had... Let me ask you a question, honestly. Did it look like they were going to... Because I interpreted that, maybe this was just Jeff, I interpreted that they were going to come after me. But maybe I misinterpreted that. The question is, would Naas have misinterpreted that?
I think Naas would have interpreted it that way.
Okay.
I don't think they didn't necessarily seem like, oh fuck yeah, we're gonna toss this dude off.
No, I know.
But they were alarmed and
And I felt backed in a corner anyway.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
you assumed what your life has known. You're like, I'm fucking cornered. They
They're
caught
gonna-
me. That's death. That's when you're prey and
Yeah.
not a predator.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be a
No,
predator.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I'll say they were going to end me.
Well,
I had no choice.
what were you doing up there? You just couldn't have waited.
Clearly just frustrated and nervous about it.
I was doing what I told you we were going to do. Look at the spyglass.
Of course. Did you at least get a chance to look at the
I
spyglass?
didn't. I saw you guys coming back. I didn't think it was wise.
No, so now, what are we going to do?
We have to leave. I threw them off the tower. One, well, he fell off the tower.
I will tell you do know this. The direction that you threw them,
That's a good question. Was it like cliffside or was it front
Oh, like
side?
right at the front door.
it was at least the way that you guys came in. Now,
Front door side. Good.
depending on how they fell and where they could have fallen on the drawbridge
Or
on the other side
Or in the-
or very far down. And in fact, we're going to keep doing this and then we'll do that. You do know that that's the way you came in. You're like, yeah, I tossed him down essentially on the front yard.
I suspect we should be leaving then.
yes.
But to where?
Anywhere but here.
With their aerial cavalry, it would be difficult to evade their capture.
Well, they can't fly through trees.
They cannot.
And they might not be able to spot us through the trees either.
I figure. What's the layout of the valley like?
We're not actually in the valley though. We're above the valley.
Above
correct?
the valley.
Right.
You could easily make it into the valley. It looks like there was a lot of underbrush and things and, rock crags that in your frantic mind right now, you do think that you would be able to hide there. You also know that they probably know this valley way better than you do.
Yeah, which is why I don't want to go to the valley.
Perhaps making use of their air cavalry. If we can.
Steal them. Where, before we even consider our escape, where should we be heading to? We can't just strike off in a random direction. We certainly won't be able to go back to Red Lodge.
Are there any towns south of here?
Red Larch really is the town closest southwest. You could go farther. There's like a past Red Larch. There's I think an Amp Hill is one. You could go north. It's a good distance, but you could go to Tribor.
That's like weeks journey though, probably, right?
I mean, there's not many. You've kind of got like the large settlements are kind of where the towns are. Like you've got Red Larch, little Amp Hill. You know that there's some stuff over here, but then there's Tribor, Belliard.
Do we have any other leads that we were going to follow up on? I know we were heading this way because the Mirabar delegation went
Really
missing, but we found them.
The only thing we know is the Sacred Stone Monastery.
Yeah, the Sacred Stone Monastery
Exactly
is what I was thinking. That is at least probably close.
We don't know where it is, but I suspect. Isn't that? Did they say that's where they were taking her, or that's where the Earth cultists were?
They said that's where the. They
They said
said.
keep an eye on your enemies there, basically.
They said
Okay.
congratulations on your altercation with the Black Earth cult. Also, keep an eye on the Sacred Stone Monastery. I want to know what our enemies are doing, so you guys can infer what you want from them.
Keep a spyglass on the Sacred Stone Monastery.
Well, I'm afraid I'm at a loss where to go.
Unless that spyglass is some indication.
Do you think there's anything else here we should know about? Do you think that the assassin you fought?
Broderick doesn't know that.
Oh, sorry. I would have told you
Yeah.
that. I said he had blades like mine all under his cloak.
Was he well trained?
He wasn't that well trained. He got me a couple times. I was the wind, and I was distracted and I panicked.
And you said that he was
Something got
armed.
in my eye.
Yeah.
He was
son.
he was armed to the teeth. You said.
He was. I suspect they all are.
Should we surmise, Stalwart, that all of the attendants are so armed?
Logical conclusion.
Who are they then? You don't keep your attendants well armed if you are an order of knights, do you?
I'm hesitant to leave here without answers.
Their mannerisms changed when the knights left too.
Stalwart,
They seem to have almost like an air of arrogance about them.
what does Timpus tell you to do? What would Timpus do in such a situation?
WWTD.
We've got only a few threads to pull upon, but we've got an order of knights who seem well intended, but we know they were involved in that delegation from Mirabar. Maybe they weren't the killers, but they certainly didn't help solve the case. And I know, and Naas knows, that they've kidnapped some woman whose importance we don't understand yet. At the very least, they are bystanders who've done nothing to do.
If the Sacred Stone Monastery are enemies, or at least maybe not even enemies, maybe they are competitors for something. Maybe they have some information on where this woman might be.
Perhaps they do, but at the same time, going from one cult to another to find information. What I'm getting at, Naas and Stalwart, is we are here now. What can we do about it? Can we confront the Lord Commander privately? Find out what they're up to, or perhaps they don't wish to be allied with these so-called attendants. I don't know, but he knew that he was uncomfortable with the amount of information we had, and so I believe that there is at the very least misdeeds being done here. Perhaps not outright evil, but I'm not even sure about that.
Kidnapping? Torture?
Exactly.
sounds pretty evil to me.
Can we just turn tail, Stalwart? Can we truly live with ourselves if we left here?
Perhaps not, but surely walking down to our death is not the answer.
Surely
Shall we
we're
bide our
smarter than
time?
that.
So you want to get him alone?
I don't know, it's just an idea. It's one idea.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah,
I'm
but
being
perhaps
honest
that
with you.
coward Conrad
Uh,
feel much better if he were at the business end of our interrogation.
but I can't harm someone unless I'm sure they've done ill.
Oh, no.
I bet if you confront him, you'll get your answer.
One way or another, yes. Now we hope that the bodies aren't discovered.
At that.
Did we get a short rest in that amount of time?
Yeah.
Broderick was totally chilling.
That entire, I wanted to give that you guys enough time to do that, but that was your short rest essentially. Was you guys?
If
And I
you
mean,
spin in a hit die, don't forget my d6. Sorry.
yeah. Basically, I imagined y'all were.
That was a Jeff roll.
Yikes!
I got
I'm all out of hit dice.
13 and 1.
Oh, while we're in the room, did you want us to level up the floor, or?
I'm afraid
You
not.
sure? Because I don't think we're getting out of here if we don't.
If only, my dudes.
You've little faith. You've got a bard in the party.
The party's tapped.
A kind of.
Can I grab these peanut butter joints?
Crack a peanut butter joint.
They're already open, I think.
I don't think I did. Oh, they are. Because I ate some. A kind of a very forceful knock comes at the door, like.
I just look at them.
Yes.
I kind of pull myself off to the side, out of line of sight.
You hear Savra, she's like, "Sorry to interrupt, I just thought you should come drink with us."
Of course. We'll be joining you presently.
I think he would seriously put his hand on the door, like clutching his chest.
I'll put my hand crossbow back under my.
Yeah, you got your mace, it's like, gotta breathe a sigh. And you can kind of hear her stomp back and you hear, I mean, it's not a complete ruckus outside, like there still is some decorum, but they are celebrating.
I think Broderick would join, trying to put on a performance now, though. Like, he is obviously no longer excited. Be like,
Yeah, yes, well done.
Do you guys all come out?
No, I won't. Unless they tell me to.
Okay.
I think it's best I stay in there.
Gotcha. Alright. Well, you guys come back into the room.
But I will have the door cracked.
Just,
Listening for.
I hear you. I like it.
so who's in the room now? If it's died down a little bit.
It has not died down. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
The
but like,
ruckus.
about 6 of them left.
Yeah.
you know, it's. And in fact, there's.
Only the exuberance has died down a little.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Because in fact, the other two knights have joined the table
Good.
after stabling.
Oh, good. Great. That's fantastic.
And just because you guys would be in tune, like Conrad is not here, by the way. So
Okay. So,
I mean, and a couple of them are like, "Where's Ellen? Where's Conrad?"
I would speak up, man. I would jab. I would look at the priest and just be like,
He did take a pretty nasty wound out there. I mean, so did I, but, you know, he isn't quite as accustomed, I think, to... Oh, have I said too much? Forgive me.
Just about everybody erupts in laughter. They all look at each other and are like, "Ah!" And I mean, there's other ones who are trying to like hide their face, you know, and not look at see their friend like that.
but do it, all like get it together, and then lose it. Yeah.
They seem to all share everybody's collective dislike of Conrad Rickon. Thurl does not join in completely, but he does kind of smile with his arms
Snicker a
folded.
little.
I
would, I think, make my way to Thurl.
why don't you go ahead and do that? What do you think Henrick is doing right now?
Just like shitting his pants.
Yeah, just standing there like.
Primarily, shouldn't have been. Oh, I think Henrick. His intention is to try and. I assume the goal coming down here is to find a way to pull someone aside privately and get some answers. But part of him is also thinking maybe, we'll wait till morning. So
Why? Why would you do that?
a room full of knights. So he's kind of just surveying, I don't know, just like Andrew right now doesn't know what to do.
And some of the knights are trying to engage you, and they're legitimately asking you about Tempest. They're like, Stalwart. They're starting to get slightly inebriated, too. They're like, so what does Tempest teach you?
To never take advantage of or prey on the undefendable, or
Helpless?
what's the helpless, those who cannot defend themselves.
No, just like a knight. Just like a knight.
Is that the kind of knight you are?
Of course, that's the kind of knight I am. I'm a Feathergale knight. Water Davian. I was born that way.
Many knights and Water Davians alike are surely not so noble as you. Perhaps.
Well, perhaps not like the Feathergale knights. There's certainly a weakness to plenty of the other Water Davian knights and their commanders, but not Thurl. Not Thurl Maroska. He knows the way. He knows the way through strength. Tempest teaches strength. Is that right?
He does.
Well, that's like our Thurl, Lord Commander. He commands you to do something. You trust that he knows what's best, because he's accomplished. And he's a good man.
Have you ever found your trust faltering, unsure of a command?
You test my convictions, Master Priest.
Not a test of your
You
convictions,
find
just
them.
your
completely.
intuitions.
No, of course not. This is a war, after all.
Who are you warring with?
Who aren't we warring with? Evil powers? He starts kind of looking for help. Some of his other friends are like, kind of, the one next to him kind of takes his shoulder. He's like, the enemies of Waterdeep, the enemies of the Sword Coast, those will always be our enemies. Isn't that right? He's like, that's right. That's right.
Quite a vague answer. Any specific enemies?
Not right at this moment, Stalwart.
I suppose that's good news.
And he can go ahead, gives a turn. So, I mean, and they kind of continue talking over you. The one semi-drunk one's like,
Yeah.
kind of like, good talk.
I think Henrick would just be trying to gauge the wholesomeness of these
Go ahead
guys.
and roll insight. Not for the fucking drunk one, but for the one who was not as drunk.
18?
You get that was absolutely not true when you were like, who are the enemies right now? And they're like, do you have any presently? And when he was like, not presently, you know that was a straight up lie.
I think I'd impress him.
Okay.
Surely there's someone who wouldn't have your armor and weapons at the ready, defending every door if you didn't have enemies.
Well, kind of leans in close. There are dark forces moving in the valley. Religious orders and whatnot, and causing trouble. I've heard about that. Cult that you already had a scuffle with, Stalwart. We've had a few scuffles with them too. They're elusive though.
What's the temple? Was it temple or stone something?
Temple of the Moving Stones is its name, and it did
They
seem.
called themselves the Believers, but it seemed like they were a small subset of something bigger.
But this guy's the less drunk one.
This is the last
Okay.
drunk one.
If he was drunk, Henrick might have just
In
thrown it out
fact,
there.
the drunk one is like looks at him, looks at you, is like, Black Earth Colt. Black Earth Colt. He's kind of gives him a look. The sober one is like, that's what we hear they're called, the Black Earth Colt. Don't know what they could worship. Earth, I guess. Don't know why they would be doing fell things that way.
Speaking of, these, what do we call them? Attendants?
Mm-hmm.
Attendants, can't help noticing they're dressed a bit strangely. What is their background? What is their purpose?
He starts to, I don't know, flex a little bit, like his body language definitely closes, and he kind of folds his arms. He's like, wouldn't know. Don't ask questions of the servants. And he kind of abruptly turns. I'm gonna continue your insight roll from earlier. That's bullshit. He absolutely knows what the fuck they're doing. And he just kind of turns and continues his conversation, but you do get that he, out of the corner of his eye, like, will regard you sometimes as he's talking. I'm gonna slide over to you. Actually, real quick, are you watching out of the door or just listening? Go ahead and roll just perception. You're kind of going back and forth to see how they're doing.
17?
17. You see this kind of interaction, and I don't know, you've spent enough time with Henrick, like, you can see that he's pressing somebody, and you saw that one of these knights was giving up some information slightly willingly. You don't know what was said exactly, but you know that, like, you saw a very clear change in demeanor from the knight, and, like, you have a better vantage point than he does at this point, but you do see that he is looking back at him a little bit more often.
Okay.
So that's just something that you see while you're in the room. Alright. You make your way over to Thurl.
Alright.
And he's like, you know, one of the knights is kind of sitting next to him at some point, and Sabra's is actually on the other side of the table, you know, so they can kind of talk across, but he's like, get up, lad, I'd like to speak to Master Broderick. And the knight gets up, kind of bows to you, and
Another good bow back to him.
sets off and takes a seat next to one of his mates.
Do the old throw his cloak out and sit down.
You must be very proud of Salva. She hunted well.
I mean, he looks at Sabra too. He's like, I couldn't be more proud. I've known her a long time. My father and I go way back. He's one of the original members, my best friend. I mean, he kind of regards her for a moment. You can see there's clearly an emotional connection there. He's like,
What happened to him?
what happened to so many dragons?
Of course.
He was at the well. Sabra kind of folds her arms and looks down. She's like, I heard he went down fighting some demons. Some devils on the hill. They'd stormed it. He's like, they did.
If I may say so, my dear, you should feel no sadness, no regret. It was a life well given. That battle may have been the most important battle in, well, perhaps all of time. Just imagine what would have happened had we lost.
She kind of regards that. Go ahead and roll persuasion. You definitely see her coming around. I just want to see how successful you are.
16.
She was kind of coming around. She looks it up at you, and it's a moment where she rises back into herself, and her eyes lock with you. You see a light well of tears, but she just like gives you a long look that has weight to it, and she's like, "You're right, master." And she, looks to Thurl. She's like, "You died a hero for a noble cause." And Thurl leans in, and he's like, "Without a doubt."
We should all be so lucky.
Perhaps we will be before too long. He kind of leans back. He does regard you a little bit for a minute.
Yeah, I think he'll meet the gaze friendly, but also the kind of extra long linger. Like we're both trying to read each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite an order you've established here, Thurl. Quite an order you maintain. Truly a force for good. I know I would rest easier knowing the Feathergale Knights looking over the valley. Thurl, if I may be so bold, I wonder if we might have a word or two in private. Surely I've afforded that honor.
Kind of regards it, looks around for a minute. He's like, well, I would say without a doubt. Come, let's go to my chambers.
Of course.
As he stands up, I'm going to cast message towards the stalwart. I'm going to be like, keep an eye on this.
Okay. He gets up. You two start to ascend the stairs.
He would also cast a glance towards the room, towards the half open, or the slightly open door.
Yeah, I think I'd give them time to get out of sight and then casually start, maybe fake drunk a little, stumbling up to the... Are they going in the same direction that our room would be?
No, your room is like... it's
Stumbling
almost like
off.
your bedroom, you walk out and you're in the Great Hall. Essentially, that's exactly where it is. So they're going up a level.
I just start stumbling up the stairs behind, not like dramatically, but so that if anybody says anything, I would just say, "Oh,
You're
this
terrible at
isn't-"
performance, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so drunk.
How...
Zero.
Let me ask you this. How long do you give before you try to do that? Almost immediately, or do you give it a couple minutes?
Give it a minute maybe.
Okay.
I will watch. If I see him starting to head up, I may come out to assist him.
Clever. Y'all. I'm sweating.
I'm not. I'm fine.
I'm fine, no big deal.
So far, no encounters you've thrown at us have been hard. I think I've did 3 out of 4 encounters with like 1 hit point.
Yeah, it's only a tower.
I
of
have
knights
nothing
and
prepared.
acolytes
I'm completely spent and burnt on everything.
I need to do this right now.
and bastard little
Not a
smile.
good face.
Sean takes to being a DM far too easily.
Yeah,
The evil rolls.
the roll
the
like
evil looks.
That's interesting.
This should be fine. Ooh.
Ooh. Is that a good ooh or a bad ooh?
I figure a D20 wasn't as good as a percentage for some of these. Let's see. So you make it up. As you get up there, he kind of rounds the corner and he's like, "These torches are out. Don't know why." He takes some other torches and lights the ones again outside of his apartment.
Couldn't say.
He pulls out a key and unlocks it. And he kind of moves in, and you see the same thing that he saw. It's the things that he has are well appointed, but in some regards, like, it is fairly sparkly.
Military.
Yeah, like
you
it's
said.
nice. Like his sheets and stuff are, of course, well crafted.
Right.
He pulls out a chair at his desk, and he's got another sitting chair in there. So he pulls a chair out for you, sits at his desk. You do see him take a cylinder that's over there and stow it in the desk somewhere else. Looks like a scroll cylinder that was sitting on the desk. He does kind of stow it in there.
Wouldn't want you to see
What does that say?
And he sits, and you are perceptive enough. You know that, like, this isn't adversarial, but in some regards, you guys have been having a silent mental tete-a-tete. And he kind of sits down and he's like, "Master Broderick."
Yes. Well, first, obviously, we're flattered at the kind reception we've received at your hands. Though he's a bit of a shit, Conrad was right to invite us.
Conrad is a twat. But I know his father, and his father was an honorable man.
Well,
So I will give him a chance. He's not our best nor our brightest, but some things need financing as well, and his family coffers also run deep.
Say no more. I understand, of course, more than many. Thurl, if I may. When we first arrived, you were eager to, well, have the stalwart and I, and our servant, join the Feathergale Knights. And from what I've seen, you are an honorable order. Truly, those amongst you who are the most noble are rare specimens. Savra is truly a remarkable young girl. You've done well. May I speak freely with you, and you may think ill of me if you wish, and you may ask us to leave, and we will.
I would prefer that we did speak freely. I've retreated further and further from Waterdeep because I no longer need the masks or the dance of the social climbers or anything else to say what we mean.
And on that we agree, I assure you. Thurl, it's clear to me that you are motivated to do good, and your intentions are noble. But I fear that the ends don't always justify the means, Thurl. And it is clear to me that you may have made alliances that perhaps you regret. Or perhaps you don't, and don't understand why you should.
His face has grown dark, and it has grown stern.
Now I think Broderick won't break the gaze.
Tell me I'm wrong, Thurl, please. Because, as I've said, all I've seen is noble and honor from your knights. But those servants, Thurl, I'm no fool. I haven't lived this long, made a fortune and given it up, without knowing how to learn a thing or two. And if I may be so bold, I fought at that well to protect goodness. And I believe you did as well. And I believe you may have lost the path a bit.
He stands up.
Oh man, Broderick would stand up too. I mean, not being threatening, but just meeting the stand.
Yeah. I'm afraid you've had a grave misunderstanding. I know you wanted to come up, and we can start doing that too, but I'm afraid we've had a misunderstanding on a few counts. He opens the door. He's like, please.
Oh man, I think he would hesitate for a second and just be like,
I don't think I have. But by your leave.
I think he would linger a little bit and then nod, walk out.
He does not nod, but he lets you fucking walk out. And you do get, just from the way of his motion, that you know that he has gone over to his desk, put his hands down, and bowed his head. You guys can continue with your plan to try to come up if you want to.
I think I would be coming up to stand outside to make sure nothing was going wrong. I don't know when I would have arrived during that.
No, I'll let you do that. So first of all, if you're going to try to pretend to be drunk and go up the stairs, I definitely need you to make a performance check.
I will say, not pretending to be wasted, just sort of, but understood. How about a 16? My dude?
16 is pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a collective roll.
Get him!
Get her, Ray.
Is that what you're playing?
What would I be rolling? Insight to look
Insight.
through something,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Yeah, insight.
Which is wisdom.
Then no bonus.
No bonus. They for a second kind of regard you, and the one who definitely you put off definitely looks at you for a minute and kind of follows your gaze. But another one seems to cut in and be like, Stalwart, can hold this drink up? You know? And like, it's just kind of like, his gaze is broken and he kind of looks back at you and you're like, I mean, you know that you're not good at this, you're fucking hamming it up. Not No, but just like you suddenly get the sway right. Like your armor's heavy. You're like, and kind of moving that way. And I mean, it's barely convincing. Like you can feel that one knight's eyes on you, but you know that by the time you've about made it to the stairs, and you can come and join him.
I would have kind of like come out like looking around and see him stumbling, and like, oh, bastard, and I'll go over to him like I'm gonna try to help him.
And that seems to ease them even more as like he takes your arm and you almost I imagine you almost try to steer him back to the
But
bedroom.
too strong.
But you do the acting where you're like, oh no, but master, we shouldn't. Even though you guys are both walking up together, and that most of them seem to be like and continuing on.
I hope I didn't kill us all just now.
Oh no, I'm sure I killed us long before.
Yeah, that's right. Combined, we killed us.
I thought about it. I had two choices. I was either just gonna let them like throw me in the clink because I had actually helped. I had stashed my thieves' tools.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just didn't think he would do it.
It'll all be fine.
I think he saw the opportunity. Like, if I get rid of this knight, I can take this attendant. I didn't know he was full of knives and
Oh yeah, of course.
was blowing on his daggers and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the dagger blow was kind of weird.
yeah. Squanching everywhere.
Squanching on his daggers.
You're coming down the stairs as you two are coming up.
Oh man, I would have a grave look on my face and be like,
We should be leaving.
Good.
We should be leaving.
Are we okay to leave?
I believe so. For now.
Good. Let's go now.
We're gonna take a quick break.
all right.
But we'll be back in just a few minutes, and I suppose we'll see how
Definitely not
Feathergale
party
Spire
life when we get back.
I'm on the edge of my
Be back in just a minute. Thanks, guys.
Stories from dead little things once were green. A river runs through the hill, carves a hole from the stone, trickles 10 jagged claws with no bones, makes its home.
we're back.
We are back. Thank you, Andrew.
It was just a natural disaster.
And we're back.
With more on.
So disheveled.
Well, there is a natural disaster. Our party.
This may be our end.
We're back.
I feel like this could be our death, and I welcome it, my man.
Okay.
Harder, dude.
I don't. You kill us, I kill you.
Alright, so you guys are descending the stairs together.
Yeah. With a quickness. I think Broderick's just like, we gotta go.
We must get out of here right now.
Layout wise, there's no way to get out.
It is
other than a
nighttime,
great
right?
hall, right?
It is now nighttime, yep.
Fuck it.
Is there any way out without going through the dope hall? The dank
No.
hall?
Well,
Hall,
no.
Great
You,
synonyms.
But the stairs go all
the
the way
stairs
down.
do go
Or do
down,
they?
actually. They do. Actually, now that I think about it, they do. Do you guys have all of your gear? Would you have brought everything with you?
Oh, it would be in the room.
Okay. Alright.
I think we would quickly go to the room and get it.
Okay. Alright. So you guys enter in the hall. The Great Hall.
I don't know.
So let's see.
I say we just leave. How much gear are you leaving behind?
I'm just thinking, what would you realistically...
All of our food, all of our travel. I mean, I don't have my pack on, so water skins.
I don't have my
food.
pack on either.
I guess I'm asking, would you have your shield, would you have brought your mace out to the table?
That's
Nope.
a good point.
Nope.
I know
It's
I've
all-
got
it's
my.
in the room.
I think you are fucking sick.
He would have his rapier on.
I would think I would have my mace.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
huge. He carries it
But
around.
probably not the shields.
Not the shields.
We gotta go to the room.
Yeah, we gotta go to the room.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with working
We're
on
going
it.
to the
I just
room.
want
Sean
to
says
know.
we have to go to the room, so
I'm not saying you have to go to the room.
What a
You guys
railroad.
can leave.
Here, I thought we had a sandbox. Oh, this is just a railroad. Sure, we just go to the room. Whatever.
Oh, look, goblins in a room.
I
Surprise.
just want you guys to know that the
Open a chest.
decisions you make affect this.
Hey, man, why don't you just play Broderick for me?
Why don't you just tell us what happens?
Oh, this is a cutscene. Okay, cool.
Is that a quick time event at least?
I go.
Broderick trying to drink the wine. I'm smashing the circle.
Anyway, yeah,
We could go down a level, go across, and come back up to try to. Well, it doesn't matter.
Man, I think-
the thing is right in the main room, isn't
I
it?
think Broderick just fucking goes to the room.
You just walk out.
Dude, he said we could go.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's pursuing us.
The party is still going on. I mean, they're like still drinking and stuff like that. Sabra, I mean, looks up expectantly, like smiling.
Dude, he would smile at her kind of sadly.
You blew it.
You just killed us. You just killed us.
That was it. That was the kill. That was the kill shot.
She doesn't. She seems to recognize something and like doesn't understand and like kind of looks down. But that's it.
Right to the room. Straight to the room. Beeline.
I think we'd all be together.
I think he's walking quick.
Gotcha.
Do we have to come back down these stairs? Or is
Uh,
there another set of stairs we'd be going down?
There, it would be the same set. There's only one spiral.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll have to go back to those stairs.
I might just stay in the stairway.
I'll grab his pack.
I think you probably got. Oh, you probably don't have your
Probably
pack,
not the
but
pack. I mean, we've got.
I don't know. I think you might have, right? Hidden
I
it under
don't
your
have a
coat?
lot. I mean, I've got the grappling. I mean, there's probably like my hammer and pythons are probably
I do.
in the
I
pack.
have ink pen, map case, chest, a small chest.
I mean, you're a
Backup
guy, man,
clothes.
so
Not my
we'll
chest,
see
though.
that.
Won't leave my chest.
Jeff, I think you're good. I don't know. I just think you carry so little, and you.
I do have a backpack and like hammer and pythons. I don't think those would probably not be on me.
You're
But
probably
almost
right.
everything else is really not a
Yeah,
lot.
you're probably right. So you've got a backpack in there and pythons.
With like a handful of crap
yeah,
in
a
it.
handful of stuff. So that is
Probably rations and my water skin are probably
Yep.
in there.
I also think he's got his hand on his water magic missile. I think just like kind of in his belt.
And I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. I'm going to go down a little bit. So if he comes down from the top, I'll break line of sight from him, and I'm just going to sit back there with, my hands inside my cloak.
Gotcha. You guys into the room. You go down a level.
Yeah.
You hear footsteps coming down
Okay.
abruptly.
Okay. Sure, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
You guys are in the room.
Oh,
Just
We must move quickly, stalwart.
slamming stuff
Don't
in.
give my chest.
You hear the chink of armor walk through.
As I hear him come down, I take that crossbow bolt. And then I drink the potion.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Thurl,
This should be fine.
you guys hear a booming voice from in there, and he's like, "To arms, all of you, to arms!"
Nope. I mean, we'd clearly hear that in the room. Like, I think he would sigh.
Don't I hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna. Does it go into the room?
Yeah, he walks. I mean, he's marching into the center of the room.
And as I hear that, I'm gonna stealth back up. I'm gonna take the crossbow out and try to assassinate.
Yeah, Thurl.
Damn.
Alright. I'm gonna wipe the board, y'all.
Here lies Broderick,
Yeah.
Naas, and Henrick.
Hey, at least if we die, that motherfucker's gonna die about an hour later from that
That's
poison.
true.
They don't seem that evil. I'm so torn.
It's a hard one. Broderick's gonna talk it out. We're gonna be fine.
Oh man, you guys.
Is this how you saw this going?
Can you change the title to Princes of the Apocalypse White?
Man,
Princes of the Apocalypse, Part 1 of 1.
you guys had me thinking after last game, I was like, these guys are gonna walk out of this place
Hey, never underestimate us.
having made friends. and I didn't think they're gonna have a single combat. And then y'all just assassinate people? Straight up.
That's right, I ultimately blame this on you.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Straight.
sure.
Oddly enough, that hasn't even come into play.
Don't even know yet.
Hey, we got rid of two of them before
I
we
don't
started
know
this
how
fight.
you.
Thank you. I already got 2 notches on my belt.
This should be fine.
You
I'm
two
not
bozos over here.
Where's
Asking all
the
the
line?
questions.
worried. The line is about... Oh, way back here. Line's about here. As long as you don't go past that pencil, it's visible on stream. We'll look at getting that extra camera. Oh god. It's a circle.
No, it's not a circle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of an amoeba.
He draws maps like I do. Well, at least they're
My
straight.
first circle was wonderful.
Can I be
was.
in the... Oh man, I can't even... Can I be part of the Golgi bodies over here? Some other cell parts.
I'll be the rival flavor.
Rival flavor was always my favorite. Partially because it sounded like something cool you would do on the weekend.
Dude, it sounds like medicine.
You guys sitting here taking riboflavin?
Oh man, are you guys riboflavin again?
When my wart's act up, I rely on riboflavin.
Ooh, Lord. Lord of mercy.
That ain't no Tempest.
Not
you're talking
Tempest,
about.
no.
Oh,
Not
sort
referring
of.
to Tempest.
Tempest will throw you a sword and then cut your head.
Do you want me to get some bad guys for you, Sean?
No, there ain't gonna be any bad guys, are
Need
there?
like two guys? Do?
Oh, don't worry.
1.5 hit point leader.
How many knights?
Let's see. There are
4?
4 knights.
Plus-
Go ahead and pull out. Let's do the Innis for Sabra. The Innis fig.
Okay.
'Cause
I don't want to kill Sabra.
Is this good for
No,
the knights?
Yeah.
you guys need to convince Sovereign to join us.
I'm gonna talk to Sabra. I got it. I'm not worried. She should be on our side.
We'll get these guys.
I'm very well hung.
Interestingly, the Innis fig is not here. Oh, I know where it is. There she is.
Yeah, she is.
He tasks me and I shall have
How wounded as it is led to believe. So much the better.
There you go.
I'm gonna need a good one for Thurl.
What?
I need something else.
Xavier.
Yeah.
He literally put 2 fistfuls full of fingers over there.
I'm not worried. I don't know what you guys' deal is. I've got at least one spell slot left.
It's killed me. Oh my god.
Okay.
Everything's gonna be fine.
You have some spells left, don't you?
Actually, yeah, I'm pretty good on spells.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, I did. For a second, I forgot.
Oh my god.
Billy took that short rest, or we would be dead.
Don't worry. We're still dead.
I don't get anything back on short rests right now. Not a thing.
I don't either.
Not to level 5. Yes, we need a long rest, Wiley. Hey, can we snooze for an hour? Can we barricade the door for an hour? Or for 8 hours, I mean? Just hold the door, Star Wars.
Hold on. I suggest we all rest before this fight.
Huh.
You're tired as well.
Cool.
You've heard them all, in fact. They would have, as they said that, they would have all shuffled and got into places. And in fact, you also heard a ding. One of those attendants had a ding of a bell that was over here, just ding, 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 ding.
They don't need more.
And in fact, okay.
Is that how many more are coming?
That's how many rounds away they are. I'll tell you all
good.
that.
We'll last that long. Guys, we'll be alive for 6 rounds. I have no spell slots left. We're boned. Let's do this. I'm ready. So far, Sean is 1 for 1 on party wipes. Let's see. Do it. Do it, my dude.
I thought I was
Dude,
full.
if you don't like DMing, you could have just said.
Yeah, if you don't
swap.
have to kill us. You can just tell us.
All right, so you guys are fighting in the oblong tower.
We're fighting an amoeba
A
centaur.
single cell tower.
Yeah, bitches. Everybody can roll initiative.
Oh god. Where are we, by the way?
You guys would be in this room.
Okay.
Naas, you're
Oh, yeah, kill him.
a level down. You guys are in
Right
this
here.
room right here.
Okay.
Let's see.
I love bards. It's gonna be a shame to rip this character shit up. Oh, by the way, if that happens, you're doing it on stream. Everyone gets to watch my tears.
Oh, God.
I want you to rip it up in my face.
I don't want you to rip my,
Yeah,
tablet.
don't rip up his tablet. You can rip up my tablet.
Yeah, it's already
Not
ripped
any
up.
good.
Scissors will probably do the trick.
I'm just gonna put these guys here, and then let's see. This is for the.
I'm gonna take a picture of this.
We are dead and fun.
Yeah. We are dead AF.
17.
Uh-huh.
Dude.
Keep up the good
Come on.
rolls, man. I'm really
But
happy
they're
for
holding
you.
actions,
Really
I
proud
might.
of you.
Okay.
Nash, we need a barbarian up in here right now.
Alright. Initiatives around the horn.
8. So that's higher than what you just rolled for all of them, right?
Alright, Naas.
17.
What's your dex modifier?
3.
100.
Okay.
I'm a 15.
And you're a 15.
Cool, I like that.
Okay. Before any of this starts, you're getting a surprise round. Because you were waiting.
Merciful DM.
Alright, my man. Okay.
Alright. Oh, 27 to hit.
You got him dead to rights, my man.
Dead? You said dead, so.
He's gonna make a con save, DC 17.
Okay. Yeah, fails.
Alright. In 1 hour, he takes 96 damage.
Why don't you go ahead and roll it right now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just do that.
In 1 hour, is that it?
Yep.
No, it's a
That's a
long
poison of my own making, y'all.
Yeah. It's the assassination poison.
Yeah. 20.
Spend a sorcery point.
I wish. 28.
Yeah, how horrible is it to play such low-level characters now? I didn't suffer that withdrawal, unlike you guys.
It's adjusting.
28 damage in an hour.
Yeah. 10. You take 20 damage from that.
Okay.
How do we kill him?
I mean, you catch him in the spot that Kaliar taught you.
Nice.
Back of the neck, certain like vertebrae in the spine. He was like, hit here. If you dig a dagger in, you shoot a crossbow bolt. He's like, this is where you always want to hit somebody. You're slightly off the mark, but that's what you shot for.
Right.
It hits the back of his neck and just manages to penetrate through his armor. He's like, ah! Pulls it out and throws it down, and I mean, looks over.
I go, ha ha! And then I move down the passage
Okay.
to try to hide.
The old bonus hide.
Yep. You may roll bonus side with this ad.
Yes.
10.
You know what? I do like making new characters, though, so let's find the silver lining here.
I can escape.
Yeah, Naas can go on. I'd be fine with having being Naas's backup singers.
Maybe. I mean, I can outrun them.
Okay.
I won't leave you guys, though.
Alright. He yells to two of the knights. He's like, get down that hallway! He's like, get the thief. But he
Falls on his sword in shame.
I mean, our door is closed.
Yep.
Isn't it sealed with a wall of stone?
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
He's gonna go right there, and he, through the keyhole, you get that he is posturing, waiting.
Mm-hmm.
One would say holding, in fact, for a
Interesting.
situation.
Interesting.
Okay. All right.
Oh, he's also poisoned, too.
He is poisoned. That's
Oh.
disadvantage on attacks, right?
Right up here.
My man.
My man.
Should have gave you all that.
It's disadvantage on pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah. Well,
Savra settles up to her commander. I mean, y'all can't in fact see, but you hear footsteps go. Naas.
so... I'm gonna come back up.
Mhm.
I basically broke line of sight
Yeah.
to hide, and then I'll come back. Just tell me if I'm hidden or not. I'm still gonna do something.
Gotcha. And I'm just rolling regular
Perception,
It's,
yeah.
it's up
regular
to you.
perception. What did you get? 10?
Yeah.
I'm afraid you don't, my dude.
No, that's fine. I still come up, shoot at him again.
Gotcha.
He's already gone that way, yeah. So probably not with a 13.
Afraid not, my dude.
And then I'm gonna, as an interact, I'm gonna pull another handful of
Ball bearings?
I'm actually not gonna throw them out in the room.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna put them at the top of the stairs.
Gotcha. So we'll say, it probably doesn't necessarily need to matter, but just so I remember that there's ball bearings right here.
And then again, as a bonus action, I move back and hide.
Okay.
A little better, 16.
Good. Pretty fucking good. All right.
So, as a house rule, as long as you can break line of sight with your enemy, we allow rogues or anyone really to make stealth checks at disadvantage,
Yep.
and we allow the enemies to roll a free perception check
yeah.
to see them.
Seems reasonable. It's worked for us without feeling too strong.
Should I use a? I'm past it, right? At this point, it's like I could have re-rolled. Oh wait.
Where's our door?
I'm gonna say the door is right here.
Like an iris, like a amoeba.
Yeah. These are the Golgi bodies. The power center of the cell.
When people, if they have a question in the chat on like,
On mitosis.
how does it feel when they make fun of your drawing? Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
It does hurt because when he was yelling at me for my old man drawings, it was hurtful.
Right.
You got
You
like
guys,
a.
they
You have a holy fireball, right?
Oh man, if only.
If only.
Well, you have second level spells, right?
Broderick, it is your go, my dude.
Oh man.
What do you have for second level?
Spiritual weapon, magic
So-
weapon, hold person.
The first thing Broderick
person.
would do.
Is disadvantage on saves.
The first thing Broderick would do is turn to you. And I mean, he'd be drawing his sword, like making eye contact. And he's like,
If it is here we die, we died doing good. I think Tippers would smile upon that.
and I think at that, he'll open the door. He's not going out. He's going to stand in the doorway and he's going to lock eyes with Savra.
Nice.
Salvra, look who fights beside you, dear. Your father didn't die for this. You're doing no good here. You've been deceived. Look around you. I believe you know it to be true.
And he will stand back, step back to here, and he will, oh, by the way, when he was talking to you, I meant to give you my last bardic inspiration, so.
Yeah, good, because
There you
I
go.
was inspired. I was like,
Yeah.
technically not. Oh, so. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, you got the wussy one.
Ooh, not best friends.
And he is, in fact, going to
You're doing great.
hold a spell if anyone comes to stand next to him.
Okay. Gotcha.
Is it reasonable to assume I put on my shield while
Yes.
this was going on?
I think it is.
The round
Thank
before.
you, almighty powerful
Yeah.
DM.
You're so
He thus who grace us
I
with his
mean,
presence.
to me, y'all would have packed those last, being like, I don't know. And then as soon
And
as
like
you
a
heard
Henrick-
it, you're like, fuck.
And
Yeah.
you and your Henry V speech.
Yeah.
You see her looking at you.
I mean, I think he'd be looking at her, not necessarily pleading, but almost like judging. Like,
yeah.
Look around you.
You see her looking and looking back. We'll deal with that when it comes around to their turn.
Sean, this is gonna sound weird, but
Yeah.
you look really handsome today. Anyway, unrelated. I'm sorry to derail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, man.
That was your action?
Henrick is immortal. No.
Stalwart, hold the door. Let this be where we stand.
I'm gonna cast. Oh man, that's a tough call.
Yeah.
Hold person or shield of faith. I think I'm gonna cast. I'll cast hold person on that boy.
Which one?
Big dog.
Thurl.
Yeah.
does
With,
does
with
poison-
disadvantage!
Wiley. I'd like to spend my turn kissing the DM's ass.
It's a free action.
Bonus action.
Incidental.
I probably just saved us.
I probably doubt.
What am I rolling?
Wisdom?
Wisdom.
DC 13, I believe.
Says 12.
What's your whiz? Yeah, it is 12. Yep.
He does not make it.
Ooh!
So, So my dude is stunned, restrained.
He is restrained. He is
Restrained.
paralyzed, actually.
Paralyzed.
Which is effectively restrained.
And does he get to redo that on his turn? No.
At the end of his turn.
At the end of his turn.
Can make another wisdom saving.
Yep. So no matter what, he does nothing on his next turn.
Bonus action, shield of fit. What's your AC?
Can't. Yeah, you can only use
Just one-
cantrips and
one
bonus
spell.
actions.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
You see, I mean, and you can almost feel like you feel your chest burning in your hand, and I mean, you look into his eyes. You're just like, no, and you see him like he had kind of been posturing, and he's got a great sword, and then you just see him like just stop, but you can still see his eyes going back and forth. He knows what's happening, but he can't. He's powerless.
I think Henrick would say, Tempest will not allow you cowards to come slay us in our rooms. Something along those lines.
Damn.
Yes.
Does he get him bardic inspiration?
Yeah.
Y'all might. Plan on keeping up with this many things here tonight, guys. So
Feel free to
Sorry
not.
for
Feel
the
free to
delay.
take
Yeah, I
take
mean, you
them
can
off.
just assume they're dead.
Yeah, good dog. Good dog.
She's like, I'd be better with some treats.
Good dog.
Amazing. Aww.
okay.
Gave you a lot of french fries. I'm not giving you any more of those T words that I'm not going to say because it'll get you too excited.
The balloon down here was rolling back and forth, and she was like,
Girl.
I'll defend you from the balloon.
Yeah, you got us? Thanks.
These two, you kind of hear them coming, Jeff. And you know that they're coming, but you also get the idea that they're moving a little bit cautiously. So, like, you can kind of hear them, like, oh, hold. You get the idea that they might be waiting for somebody to pop up the stairs. And this one over here, son, let me just...
Wow, these spears have become a little bit warped.
Soldier! Definitely disadvantage on all
Yeah.
attack rolls.
Let me see where I can see. This might be here. It's a clear view to you. Give it a clear view to you. So,
I mean, you mean clear, but like with cover, right?
yeah. Okay, the
This is
one
me grabbing straws.
the one farthest away, you see raise a hand, and he shoots from his hand. It looks like a beam of just frost, a ray, if you will. He hits the doorway.
Poorly.
Mostly.
All right.
Did you paint those icons on the shield?
Those are decals.
Oh, I was like, holy! You should have
Yeah.
told me you painted them. I would
Yeah,
have
I would have.
Of course I did.
There you go. These are my Rune Wars minis turned D&D Knights.
Okay. I need you to make a strength save, Broderick.
Oh, strength save?
Yeah, DC
Broderick?
DC 12.
That should be fine. Where was he?
He was trying corner to that one.
Y'all trying to
No,
cheat,
no.
huh?
No, I was showing
Push
off
him
the
back
mini.
one. He was not up with him.
Okay, strength save.
Come on, you know that's what he was.
I think it was. I don't actually remember.
No, it was what it was. It was.
I believe you, yes.
I really-
It was.
Does a 10 pass?
Afraid not, my dude.
Okay, I'll take it.
This one, you see he's, like, from his sword, he's just like, and a gust of wind pushes you 5 feet back from where you are. Just, you don't take any damage, but,
Huh. I'll take it.
but you're pushed farther back into the room.
I'll take it.
All right. We're at a new turn. By the way, Naas, at this moment, you hear from underneath you, down on a level below, footsteps and people calling to each other.
Cool.
Oh, man.
Finally, help has arrived.
Yeah. Up here, we need your help, friends. Plus one section.
Thurl can't do anything, so he's just going to try to break out. And so it's the same wisdom save DC 12, right? No.
Yeah.
He's still stuck there. Sabra is not a dummy, and she gets what's happening. And she kind of looks to him and looks to you, and she's like, "Release him! Release him!"
Afraid not.
Allow us to leave in peace.
I'll wait to speak till my turn, I think.
She comes in here. She regards you, Broderick, for a minute, but then turns to you, figuring that you're the one who can cast spells.
I was holding a spell.
Oh yeah, go for it then.
Can I go ahead? I'll cast Green Flame Blade.
Okay.
So she's coming to him to attack?
Yeah, she knows he's a spellcaster.
Yeah. Man, I'd be like,
Sabra, I'm sorry, I can't allow you to do that.
I'll attack her. 18?
Yep. You got her.
I guess Green Flame Blade doesn't actually do anything different here, but 11 damage.
Yeah, but it lets you attack.
Yeah. So. And as I stab her.
What damage did you do?
11.
Crap.
Yeah.
My bad.
Sabra, please, don't make me do this. You know it to be true. They are evil. Let us leave in peace. We don't have to do this.
As you do that, I mean, though your words are clear, 11 damage. I mean, you fucking sliced into her. I mean, she came in, and in some ways you saw only at that moment, like, she looked like she hesitated to want to attack you anyway, and turned, and as she turned, I mean, you just got her, and the look that she turns and gives is of broken-hearted betrayal. But she now doubles down and turns to you and comes to swing. It's your stupid armor class.
Stupid 19.
What do you mean stupid armor class? We got a million bad
11
guys.
boys on us right now.
Yeah.
That one did not. She does get another. Buddy, come on.
Whose side are you on?
Well,
Yeah.
yours. This is only one for good. Alright, Sabra seems almost too overcome with emotion. She's not like you saw in the hunt. She's wildly swinging at you, and I mean, you're kind of easily, like, blocking it with your shield. Naas.
Alright. 5, 10. I disengage
Okay,
and go to him.
gotcha.
I get, yeah, right there. And as I'm moving, I draw Reser out. Time to pay the price, my friend.
Hell yeah.
So I'll crit,
You will.
and I'll sneak attack. Because I have advantage on the attack.
Yep.
Dang, yo.
Oh, and I'm get my bless boy going. 27.
Let me double check that. Got a hit?
He has armor class
Oops,
27
sorry.
exactly.
Switch these out. Not bad. So it's 10, 24 damage.
What is it that makes you auto crit with Assassin again?
He's paralyzed.
When someone's paralyzed. Oh, you always
Everyone
auto-crit.
crits.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And he's paralyzed, so you have advantage to attack him. You only crit within 5 feet of him, which is why I moved up.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You run up, you say it, and again, you know, in fact, that you could have assassinated him probably in one shot through his neck. You think about that woman, and them interrogating an innocent woman. I mean, you put your hand up, and you dig it in to an area in his back near his spine that you know is fucking excruciating. You make it hurt. And you can feel almost from his muscles on the inside that my man would be screaming in pain, but he can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't speak when you're paralyzed either, right?
I don't think so.
That's
And
not
how do you kill him?
Not yet.
ridiculous.
Actually, let's see. No, that was a bonus action. Okay, yeah, I'm good. I'm done.
Okay. Alright.
They have a change of heart as they see
Yeah.
their leader dying.
I don't think I'm gonna live through this round, but
Not with that attitude.
Well, and you can move through your own allies and double.
For sure.
Easily. Four in here.
Okay.
Are you worried?
What? About what?
Okay.
They're all going in there to attack that poor girl.
she did it.
She didn't even give in, but they just know she might.
Okay. These are going to be 2 on you, Broderick.
Okay.
Now,
about your AC bonus.
and you see it as they've come running up. What he said, like you see their robes open and just lines of daggers, and you see as they're coming in, they're just like.
See, Naas didn't lie. You doubted him, I know.
Before I forget.
No? I thought you
Keep an eye
might.
when you're
I don't
attacking me
think
to
so.
give me a moment in case
Not
I
now.
decide to.
Yeah,
use
well,
my
not
action.
Earlier in our
I got you.
relationship,
She'll tell you.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I got you.
Fair enough.
Broderick knows he's on the level now.
Okay.
He knows he's a bit of a show off.
Or just don't attack me, that would make it easy.
Yeah.
He's not stupid, though.
Yeah.
All right. What's your?
Well, now it
man?
looks like
It's 18. now?
18.
They both miss. One of them catches your shield. What would have been good, you kind of instinctively put it up.
Nice.
This is a lot easier since we're invulnerable.
God damn it, I was gonna crank.
Is 2 on you.
Miss and a hit?
So I'll be using my Bardic Inspiration on one I cast. On that one.
Okay.
Hoping the other one.
Roll high, roll high.
Okay. No, I'd rather not.
No, I think
So
that
was
was
that a 21?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss.
Yep. Yep.
Woo! Yeah, boy.
Down. Okay. Broderick,
How hard is Savra looking?
you gave her a real good cut, but she does not necessarily look like she's about to go down. If you hit her once more, she's not going to go down. Maybe if you hit twice, you could.
Alright, I would then say.
Savra, once again, I'm so sorry, but you've made your decision at this point. But look around you, you know it to be true. Think of your father.
Dissonant whispers. Wisdom save.
19.
Yep.
Still.
Damn
you.
She takes 4 damage.
I mean,
That'll teach her.
as you do it, it plays in her head. You see tears start streaming. And I mean, she's just like, how dare you? How dare you?
How dare you?
Oh!
Naas goes, good one!
Now does the thing where you're like in front of the camera. Oh, what a waste of a turn. I hate when Dissonant Whispers both rolls like garbage and such a good spell. when
He
it
could have
works.
just missed the attack, too.
Yeah, true.
Henrick.
Remember not to cast a spell that's concentration.
Yeah, like spiritual weapons, not concentration.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly. Look what I have open right now.
Yes.
I'm gonna cast me some spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Consider it cast.
Where you put that?
And I don't even know.
I'm gonna use blue die.
Is he the most important guy?
You'll have advantage to hit him
And auto crit.
and auto crit him with it.
Can do.
There you go.
Forget these 5 guys
See a
surrounding us.
flaming spectral sword appear?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, it would be very Tempest-like. And then, sorry, this is
It's okay,
really
you just
long.
attack with your spell modifier instead of your regular to hit, so for you it's going to be plus 4.
It's going to be 1, yeah, so +4 to hit.
Plus 4, but
With
you get
advantage.
advantage.
Okay. So, where is it? No, that's where it organizes.
Where's the 20 boy?
Oh, come on.
Inspo.
Inspo rations. Come on.
Damn!
Okay, we're
Nope.
definitely dead. We're definitely dead.
Oh no!
Then I will use my actual action to swing on her, I guess.
Mhm.
As though I'm gonna survive.
You're fine. You haven't even hit yet.
We're good.
That's true. I am invincible. How's a 15?
No. Yeah. That was I've now got you all your
Oh.
tells. That was the 16 look.
That was. I'm gonna have to do fucking better, man.
You gotta work on your poker face.
I was honest. Can I channel divinity that after you told me it didn't hit? Yeah, I don't want to push it, but I was pretty sure it didn't hit.
Do
You
it.
decide. I want to pressure you.
Please. Spend
Okay,
it.
then I hit her. I appreciate you, handsome ass man. I guess I'm on
Might as well
attacker.
roll it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 10.
Savage attacker's so good.
Again, with your divinity, you start to come down, and then you start to concentrate, and you almost feel like you feel a hand move your arm to where it slams into her. And I mean, she half bumps into you as she does it. I mean, her armor has been rot by your mace.
I think after my swing, I would lean in and say, "We would prefer to leave." Something like that. You know,
I liked it.
I like it, yo.
I ain't trying to kill you, but
Trying
I am.
really hard. Remember, if you drop her, you can just declare after she's down, I knock her out.
Yep. I love the 5th edition.
I do
It's
too.
so much more
Yeah.
straightforward to do that. Works better for the narrative.
So I'm invisible.
Oh, man, I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm invincible,
Yeah.
so it seems.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna reload Williams all these attacks.
I'm just gonna open up D&D Beyond, start with my new
Make-
character. Should we start at level 4 or?
Still trying to get what you can.
Even though we're all dead.
Huh. There's a few guys around me. I'm like, I've got this, don't worry.
They're like, to the commander, to the commander!
And you drop your smoke bomb and just.
Mm-hmm. Smoke bomb. Jazzy.
Y'all remember when my spectral weapon missed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when that really screwed me.
Choice.
Okay. What's your armor class, man? 14?
15.
15. Okay.
Imagine if Boss Man was actually playing.
They're all new, so here's
Oh, I know.
here's the first wave of attacks.
First wave?
They get 2.
I'm so dead. I'm so fucking dead.
2 of them hit you.
I disbelieve.
Yeah. No.
Oh god.
Yikes. Ugh.
19 damage, my dude.
You're fine, right? God.
The next 4?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2 more.
Yeah.
What? Next one.
1 gets you.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Unless he rolls a 1. I
Yeah.
don't think they're a +3. Maybe they are.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. It would have ended you. They know that. And 1 stops, and as you get the butt end, you are non-lethally taken down.
Can you roll damage?
Oh yeah.
Because you might
You
not.
might still not. Yep.
I
You guys see. You guys can kind of both see out the door as these ones are coming through. You see Naas take spear, and he's like, ah! And then the last one just kind of.
As the last one hits me, I just look to him and go,
We should be fine though, right?
Yeah, we'll.
I mean,
we'll-
He's down.
Yeah,
We're fine.
He's also not as tough as us. He's out.
Thurl finally is like, ah! Ah! I mean, he is just raging.
And ready for his next turn.
End of his turn. So,
Yeah, he might not let me live.
Might not.
Savra. Savra looks at you, and though she has tears, you see that her sword almost comes up to you, and again she instead just turns back to him and keeps attacking you.
No, she
That
doesn't.
one doesn't get. Yeah.
Nope.
Neither does that. I mean, it's almost pathetic at this point. Like, she's just a young girl in a rage. I mean, and you just have your shield quickly moving, and I mean, she's trying to hit you, but she's almost just getting out frustrated. Just like, ah! I mean, just hitting your shield. Naas, you do not have to make a death save. Because you're just unconscious, right?
Yeah. I'd almost rather make a death save. Because if I roll 20, I can get up. But no,
Yeah, but
they knocked
they knocked you
You
out.
knocked me
Yeah.
out. I can't. I'm just.
Yeah, I just want the chance.
I want more life.
Alright. Actually gonna get 3 on you, Broderick, because they see some heavy armor.
On him, you mean? They see his heavy armor and
Yeah.
think, nah.
Yeah, so you
Henrick.
got 1, 2, 3.
Henrick.
He's gonna hit you.
You said brother.
Yeah, but you're getting 3 on you, right? Wait, did I not say that?
No,
What
you
I say?
did. You said because they see some heavy armor. I was confused what you meant. Because
Oh.
they see his heavy armor and think,
Yes.
nah, I'm gonna...
Yeah,
Oh,
they're,
right, right,
they've
right.
got they've got
I
daggers.
completely-
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We'll
I
just
mean,
not do that.
They see that, they're like, nah. So these 3 are on you.
That one.
And you were an 18, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, so a crit and then a regular.
Oh, come on! Max damage.
Not looking so handsome anymore. Ugly ass.
Well,
14?
18 damage.
18 damage.
Alright, this one is trying to get you. We've spent all inspiration and everything like that.
Yeah, good for him.
He gets you for 5 damage.
I'm gonna give him inspiration for taking a hit. Because I know he's just not used to it.
Yeah. I'm about to give you inspiration because I finally got you on a hit. Broderick.
Oops.
Man, I think Broderick would clearly realize they're done. But I also don't think he wants to surrender.
Remember, he wants to die fighting.
That's right, he does. Ah, man, I think he would just...
Stalwart, you should get out of here if you still can.
And to that end, he is going to kneel down on his old knees and cast Thunder Wave centered on himself. Fuck it. Level 2 Thunder Wave.
Nice.
Con saves for everybody, including the Stalwart, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Hey, made it.
That's about a 19.
I'll give you a collective one for the initiates.
Ah, collective one.
I'll do it. I'll parse it out if you want to.
That's alright.
And here is Sabra.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. You rolled good damage, too.
18 damage halved for everybody, and it knocked myself out. Pass or fail.
Why?
I centered it on myself.
Hold on.
Oh, you did.
Did you say 18 damage halved?
Yeah, to 9.
Yeah.
Is that how many points they have?
What you see is he goes down, and a thunder wave goes. You put your shield up. All of them get blown off, including Sabra.
Well, they're all down?
They're all down.
Wow.
Well done.
Wasn't expecting that.
Hey,
I'll just
here's the way I feel
guys.
it. If you, no matter the fact that we're gonna wipe here, going out, balls to the wall,
Yeah,
pretty epic.
that was pretty cool.
Fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Get out, Star Wars!
And I mean, you watch them blow against the walls. It pushes the beds over. You see Sabra catch it. Like one last look at him. She slams into your shield, goes down, and you see him also blown back against the wall. And you just his fine rapier comes crashing out, and he falls slump. Henrick, it is your turn.
Do something.
Oh, I mean, Henrick's not just gonna walk out.
You know, you
hold the door.
no, go back in there. Yeah. Stay at the front door. Yeah. But you're getting right in front of the door. Like they can't come through.
All right, good thinking. Good think.
I'm not trying to tell you what you do. I'm sorry. Just do what you want. I apologize. You got it, yes.
Do whatever you want, man.
We all blew it.
Let's see what I have as far as action. Let's go. Henrick's not just gonna go walk out. So wait a minute. What does making someone stable do again?
Keeps us from dying.
Okay.
Do you have any spells left?
Yeah.
You got a healing
I
boy?
have 4 first level spells.
You got a healing word left?
Uh-huh. So yeah.
You don't have to touch
You don't have to touch them. It's range.
Alright.
It's
Okay.
a bonus action.
So I have a healing word that boy.
My man.
I could do it at second level. No, I couldn't. Why is it letting? Oh, it's not.
I think you've used both your second level
Yeah.
spells.
Okay. I was wondering why it was letting me push it up to 2. Oh, that's a bonus action. So I can't use my spirit weapon then. And then I will. Oh, I can't cast another spell.
You want to roll your...
Yeah, roll it
Healing
up,
word?
my dude.
You can cast a cantrip, just not another full spell.
Or you can attack.
Yeah, or hold your action or whatever.
Wait, I thought they stay in my room.
So you can hold your action if someone comes to the
Yeah.
door. 3?
Yep.
Thank you, Star Wars!
Looking around the room.
And you do. You see that they were electrocuted, thrown, and yeah, you see Sabra just laying down. I mean, she's gone. Hair singed.
And I will hold my action if somebody comes at me and swing on me.
Okay.
Because I am surely going to take all these guys out with no issue.
One most certainly comes into range.
Alright. Yeah, whatever.
Oh my god, Andrew.
Good, good.
I'm gonna just. Alright. You've got.
I feel like we're okay. Should I just roll 6?
Yeah, I guess that makes the most sense for time. This is all their multi-attacks. Two gotcha. That's it.
6. Or no, I've got 8 health points, so.
Yeah, you're down. You see that two lay into his knees, and he goes down, and it's almost the same thing again. Like, another one just hits him over the head and cracks his skull. You're unconscious. Not done. Just
Nice.
fucking smell
You
it.
good?
No,
Yeah,
it's-
you just-
sorry, guys.
No, you didn't need that.
Jesus Christ.
I said I wouldn't snack, but we all have our vices, don't we?
They've gone.
Oh.
Thorough moves through them.
And surrenders.
And he's like, this could have been great.
No, it couldn't! You have tainted your goodness. It couldn't be great.
He's like, this is the problem! This is the weakness!
No,
And
you are the weakness.
he comes to swing.
Oh.
You don't have to roll. I'm at 3 hit points.
He runs you through. But
He ain't knocking me out. It's okay.
no.
Do it.
No. There's a plan here, y'all. Don't bum rush this. You are most definitely run through, but you are the first to awaken after you've clearly had the taste of a healing potion. You guys are on the pinnacle. You two are still out. You, like, they fed you something, like the healing potion, and Thurl is standing at the top, and he's surveying. He's looking out.
And an hour passes. How do you kill him?
Oh, yeah, he is probably. Oh my god, that's incredible.
I'm gonna say you went down.
You don't have to tell us.
No, I'm just trying to plan through how much time I think is going by here.
Love it.
My dude's got 30 minutes left before he takes that damage. I'm just gonna tell you that he's got 30 minutes. The 4 remaining knights you see, and you see Conrad on the other end. And I mean, he's looking at the 3 of you with utter disgust.
Why have you kept us alive?
He's like, oh, chose to ask us polite questions again when really they're just here to infiltrate. Thurl's like, shut up, Conrad. Shut your fucking mouth. He's like, I'm sorry, sir. And then you see other initiates, and there's also now what you guys would know to be a monk. And I mean, he's got the like shaved head up to here with the long braid that goes down, and he's in similar. It's like a similar like setup where he's got the feathers on it, but he's got the signature things, and he's standing there. You two kind of wake up at this point too. In fact, some of the knights kick you to awake. You guys see they have the stone that you saw earlier near the spyglass.
Does it look like they're going to push him off?
You guys are all together, but everybody is surrounded around this stone that you think.
Did they find my held out daggers?
I don't think they did.
Okay.
You guys are bound. Let me say that. Your hands.
Okay.
Your hands are bound. But yes, no, they did not find him. I don't think they did.
Okay.
You did have Rezer out though, didn't you?
Oh, I lost. Yeah, where's there? And the hand crossbow. I had the 2 of them out.
The knights are sitting around, but the initiates are now like by the stone. There's 4 of them, and there's the monk, and he is almost surveying their work, and you can't hear what they're saying, but you see them over where clearly it was almost like a platform that they pushed over to the stone. And you can see it almost fits exactly into the crenellation, and like fits in, and they're over there, and they've got a couple bowls down, and they're like,
Is this, can I roll knowledge arcana?
you can, yeah.
Nope. I do want to try to slip my bonds somehow.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know how you do that in here. I don't know if it's Dex or Sleight of
Sleight of
Hand.
hand, probably.
I guess sleight of hand.
Okay.
I'm gonna set a high difficulty.
What 19.
I think you got it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
I mean, I think a near 20. I mean, I think they bound you knowing that you're unconscious. I mean, I think they did a good job, but I don't
Right.
think they like hog-tied you by any means.
Then
You slip a hand out.
that's all I need. So my intent, you tell me how
Okay.
this happens. My intent is to get my dagger out, and I'm gonna try to assassinate him.
Okay.
Probably won't happen, but that's what he wants to do. He's gonna try to surprise him.
Okay. I'm gonna give you time to line up a shot, and he'll keep talking, and
Sure,
you'll be
sure.
waiting, and I'll let you know when you think you have an opening.
Okay.
So, the attendants now, you can all see they're over it, and the monk seems to be regarding it. He's like, yes. He looks at you guys again. He's like, it will be fine offerings to Yan Si Bin.
What's that name?
Yan Si Bin.
Ah.
Heard that before?
Right?
Famous cellist, I think.
Yeah.
Makes cello.
It's Yan Si Bin. No.
Yeah, I like it.
And Theryl's like, could have been allies.
We couldn't have been. You chose your allies. Look at them. You know this to be true.
He's like, we had a chance. We had a chance here, all of us, including Savra, to master elemental air, to bring ruin to the enemies of Waterdeep.
Look at yourselves. Look at them. Look at who you've allied with. Do you think when the cultists tried to raise Tiamat, they started there? No. They meant well initially. They were misguided and misled.
They were marauders.
No.
They were killers and thieves.
Look at yourselves. Walking around like some sort of noble knights. You've been misled. You're pawns.
I've had enough of it. Gather them. And the knights surround you guys and pick you up. They pick you up too, but they don't catch they don't catch that you've got the knife yet. And they start to lead you up.
Are we going past him?
You're gonna go past him as you go up. You'll
Okay.
have an opportunity. They
Okay.
start lead you up to the edge of the stone. You get that if you get near the edge, though it's dangerous, you're like, I'm gonna have a line on him.
Yeah. I will.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But you also
Then I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, you're like it might be the last fucking thing I do, but I'm gonna be able to
Yep.
should be able to get him.
What is this, Thurl? Human sacrifice? There was another group committed human sacrifices. Look at yourself. You're pathetic. You're not honorable.
I'm like smiling internally at his distraction.
And you can see him getting upset, but you also see almost all of what seemed like genuine nobility has just like washed away. It's like suddenly seeing somebody you've always known to be so kind, like lash out at a fucking stranger, be shitty to a waiter, like he's just vicious. And he's like, enough! Everybody is so weak! So weak!
No,
I'm
Thurl.
here."
You're weak.
Hands down.
You're weak, Thurl.
He's like, do it! Do it now for Yan Si Bin. I will have the power. I don't need them.
The heroes of greatest, they weren't weak. They didn't ally with darkness as you have done.
As you're yelling,
I'm ready.
they push you, and as you're going, you have the exact moment that you can toss. Do it, my
The
dude.
bless technically is still going
Yeah.
because it's the potion.
Get,
And I
do
could have
it.
rolled that on the escape artist too.
Do it, man. Do the bless.
I am.
Oh, you got it in there, my bad.
Yeah. 21 plus 5.
Yeah. You got it. Roll it for me.
And what I want to do is I want to try to. I have my one hand free. I want to try to wrestle out, throw it, and then jump off myself.
Okay. Yeah. You can do that. Yes.
Do it.
Not too bad. 12. 26 damage.
26.
Yeah.
My dude, that is exact. I have it written down here. That is
right
exact.
in his eye. I just throw it in his eye and I go. And I vault off the thing.
Perfect. You fall back, going.
And
laughing.
as they're falling, I'll yell down to them, I got him! I got that mother!
You see, as a moment, like almost slow motion, Knight starting to run to Thurl. You see him going back. You guys are hurtling towards the ground. The winds are heavy, and you hear a screech. And 3 winged figures, humanoid almost. They look like humans and eagles mixed together.
Aarakocra?
Yes. Snatch each one of you. And you take a little bit of damage just from their talons and them grabbing you, and they fly off into the distance.
And we'll stop.
That is exactly.
Woo!
Man!
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
Oh man, I was ready.
I kept thinking, y'all too ready to be dead. We're not about to die.
I mean, I was like, man, maybe y'all will. Maybe
We
y'all.
put up a pretty good
You
fight.
guys put up I'm gonna say you put up a far better fight than.
I mean, I was adding that up. I was like, "There's no way. There's no
Yeah.
way.
Oh, no,
we're
no.
gonna
I
get
knew
through that."
Yeah.
We got closer.
I just wanted to kill that motherfucker.
Yeah, that was good. Felt
You-
bad about killing Sabra though. He's gonna live with that one.
Good.
Ugh.
How'd you guys dig the whole thing?
Yeah, that was
yeah.
awesome.
That was fantastic.
That was not plot armor. That
No,
was an option that they had that they would rather do. So
Yeah.
that
I
is
gotcha.
not me being but so
No,
gracious.
dude, no worries.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I enjoyed it.
Tight.
So, should we level up now, or do you want us to just do
You
it
should, in
before
fact.
next?
Really?
Whoa! It worked! The begging! That
But
was fun.
you will know right now that you have none of your equipment. I guess beyond maybe one other dagger.
I have
that
one
you-
dagger.
You have
Oh, but my wand.
And thieves' tools, actually, because I had
and
those.
thieves tools.
Can I give up level 4 for my wand? Just
Dude, you're losing res here.
Yeah, oh well. That's cool. I
You
like
know,
it.
yeah. I
like
will.
those and stuff.
I don't feel the least bit bad
Oh.
about having you guys keep your lives and lose your.
Woo!
Man.
That was a doozy. 'Twas a doozy. Thank you, my dude.
Thank
Yeah,
you guys.
That was a lot of fun.
You guys.
Did you enjoy DMing it?
Oh yeah, y'all tripped me
Nice.
up. I was straight up sweating. I was like, man, I hope that like both. I'm trying to get them, and also like, man, I hope this works. I hope what y'all are doing works.
Yeah. There was a good palpable tension there.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
It was good.
your thunder wave, just
That was
casting
pretty
them like leaves in the wind.
She had 8 hit points left. They all only have 9.
Gotcha.
So
So the thunder wave killed him even with saving. Nice.
yeah,
Man, I gotta figure out what spell I want at level 2. I think I need to be the AoE. Y'all are very
Yeah.
good high damage single target. Not to get right to the mechanics,
Oh, yeah,
obviously.
you can do it.
That's half the fun too. I do think from a character perspective, this one's gonna sit heavy with Broderick.
Yeah.
I mean, he just saw good people led astray.
Yeah.
And wasn't out to be about vengeance, which it was kind of what we were. I mean, when he killed Sabra, he's gonna live with that one.
I like it.
I mean,
It's gonna hurt.
It's how it worked out. I mean, I think there was a chance that she could have been persuaded, but caught between her commander and newcomers,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't. She didn't really want to fight you. She knew you were a spellcaster, and was just, I think potentially just like, I just want to make him stop, and like the commander will come back and we'll fucking figure it out.
Yeah, that was good.
So can I ask how you expected any of that to go? Because it seems like it was.
I mean, it's in there that's. I honestly, I thought.
And feel free to not.
No, I'll tell you. I mean,
I'm
at this
just
point, it
curious.
frankly doesn't.
Right, that's
you
what I
guys are
assumed.
past it. I think had you come back and not pressed them, they would have not necessarily invited you in, but they would have sent you on your way with a bit of information.
So let's be clear. It was his fault.
Yes. I mean, I
We
rolled.
decided we were
I outright
like-
murdered 2 people.
I wasn't sure.
And it's still your fault.
It would have been weird if you had left that night. I think that would have added suspicion.
Yeah.
And that would have been plenty more rolls for them to find dead people. So I will say, I think it was you, but there was a time clock for my actions.
Yeah.
So like he may have just beat you to the punch.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would have rolled for it.
That's awesome.
So I mean,
I regret nothing.
Oh yeah,
I
it was
regret
awesome how it
nothing.
turned out.
Oh, there was a tweet today. I don't know if you guys saw it. Someone said, they said, sex is great, but what about making suboptimal choices in character creation because it fits your character better? And y'all know sometimes I got a bad habit of doing the less than optimal thing for my character.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I did. I mean,
I don't know. It felt right. It felt like
yeah,
Broderick was
I
ready
felt
to
like
have
you
that
guys stood
combo.
your ground to your characters. I thought you acted within your characters. I mean, I think going back and performing would have been a bit of a compromise that I think would have made sense. But
My dude is lawful good.
yeah,
He's lawful good and prepared to die for a
I think you
cause.
put it on there. I think Naas, it makes total sense to me. Like, I'm backed into a corner. No.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, that was
you're
awesome.
gone. You're gone. I mean,
Made
it was
perfect
clever.
sense. Cover up the crime as best you can, and then yeah, it was awesome.
I mean, I think you guys did.
But he did try to be heroic at the end.
Yeah.
Did.
And, dude, you did. I mean, that's pretty. It was on the nose. Like, I was like, ooh.
You made the splat noise for yourself. You were like, I'm dead.
I didn't think we were dead.
No,
I
I
didn't.
didn't.
I thought we were dead.
Did you?
No,
Did you
not
guys?
really. Nah,
It's-
I once you knocked him
Right,
out,
that's what
I picked up what you
Yeah.
were throwing down. It's like clearly we're not gonna die here, but Broderick would.
I thought exactly what I thought we were going to
You
get
thought we were gonna
sacrificed.
get
Oh,
sacrificed?
I 100%.
Yeah.
I did not think anything else other than that.
Good.
I thought that fight seemed too lopsided. Maybe there's
Too
a little
easy.
more to it.
Too
yeah,
easy?
too easy.
Yeah.
But we just rolled horribly. Just kidding. I'm
I
just
mean,
kidding. It's the opposite of that.
I will say I did not adjust that at all. I was like, if that's the route they want to go,
Yeah.
they can do that. But
Good luck.
it would be an uphill fight for
Yeah.
y'all to get out,
Right.
fight the second wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah,
had
all
full
that-
spells,
Yeah.
we might have been able to do it.
Honestly, if you guys, had
And
that.
there wasn't a
spells.
second wave coming.
What
How
one of
does
these
that
guys
They
hit
have
points?
2 attacks each.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do have like 33 hit points.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way. There's no way. If they had like 15, the problem is the 2 attacks skews the numbers
Yeah,
so
really
much
hard.
against us. If it's 1 attack and they had 33 hit points, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
And there wasn't a second wave.
Right.
Yeah, and
That's
I,
the other problem. The other wave coming up.
And I will say, I didn't adjust knowing that I had a plan for if
Yeah,
it
yeah,
went
yeah.
south.
It was
I was
awesome.
like, well, I mean, whatever. I don't
Right.
need to really worry about
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
can handle it or not. Frankly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
that's. I have no problem telling you. That's the last time anybody will probably try to sacrifice you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you guys can know that going in.
That was fun. That was
Closing
intense.
thoughts, boyos.
I'm going wizard.
Yeah. oh, you're going for level 4 wizard. Nice.
Oh yeah, this
I've
is
been
where I
studying
have to decide.
Caliar's book.
I'm staying Bard all the way through. And I think I'm upping Charisma. I was thinking about upping Dex since he is kind of a sword fighter, but I'm just going to up Charisma. I got to up my save DCs.
I think I'm
spell
gonna
attacks are no
stay
better.
Cleric, but I'm slightly on the fence because, well, 1 ability score improvement isn't going to give me anything.
Well, if you up your Wisdom, it does. It's an extra prepared spell.
Even if I up it by 1,
Oh, I'm sorry.
so I'm gonna have an even number now.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Wiley. Thanks for being our first mod. We appreciate you coming out. Appreciate everyone else who was watching. This was a lot of fun. Be back Sunday, 7:30 for the return of Strahd. And then every Tuesdays, this will normally be the game. However, this coming Tuesday, we'll be taking a break because Andrew doesn't like D&D. But we will be on the air. We're probably going to do just a weird roundtable discussion about D&D because we're all D&D nerds. So thanks again, Wiley. Really appreciate it. Thanks again, Mash, for watching, and anyone else who is still awake with us. So we'll see you guys next time. As I awkwardly have to get up and turn it off because my remote desktop isn't working. That was fun, dudes.
Yeah, that was
I had a
awesome.
blast.
Tight.
I'm gonna edit your
I'm glad you
video
guys
like
liked
right
it.
now so I don't forget. And then I'm going to delete this off of Twitch just to be safe.
Thank you.
You're gonna delete this
Dude,
here.
that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So YouTube will be the official archive because I can edit it quite
Right.
precisely. I
Right.
can't edit Twitch that way. I
Yeah.
don't think. If I can, I'll keep them on Twitch too. They only stay for 14 days anyways on Twitch.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Until you're a partner, they only stay for 14 days. So it's not even a big deal.
Whew.
Good one, Sean.
Hi, y'all.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
That was fun.
I wonder what. And how do you say him? Arokra?
Aarakocra.
Aarakocra.
Hey, before you leave, will you help me get that mic issue sorted real quick? Or the camera issue? He said their mic was behind. Will you just go clap for me over there? Can I talk you into that?
On this back?
Yeah.
That's the one that was show off earlier.